Star Report. I'm your host, Star. And let me say, we got him. We got him, kids. The mayor of New York City, Eric Adams. We'll get to him shortly, but my main title this evening, Diddy wants to testify and tell on everybody at his trial. His lawyer has said this, in case you're not up to speed. CNN, MSNBC, Fox, and a host of other sources and platforms. His lawyer says, I don't know if I can keep him off the stand. We're going to talk this evening because New York, for the most part, New York tri-state, land of the rats, home of the snitches, Nicky Barnes, and a host of others. And now you have Diddy, who's not born in Harlem, or maybe he was born in Harlem, I forget, but, grew up in Mount Vernon, and then he reps Harlem. Why should you expect anything different? Alpo and all the rest, Star, even though I'm from Jersey, but Diddy wants to tell. We have to discuss who he will tell. I want you to speculate. Who do you think will run? Because many celebrities are quiet right now. As you know, people are scrubbing their social media accounts, not just black people, white as well. So Diddy wants to tell his side of the story. Also, that story about him, not eating, that was fake news in case you don't know. But Diddy's eating good, according to other sources. I don't like to keep referencing TMZ, but he's eating good. He's allegedly coming down off of the narcotics. And when you come down off of that stuff, you got to eat. So that's the backstory in case you don't know, right? But Diddy wants to tell. He wants to testify. He's anxious and eager. Now, he's got a new lawyer. He doesn't have Benjamin Brafman for this particular onslaught of lawsuits and the trial. And I started thinking, 2 days ago, because I had Benjamin Brafman once upon a time, very expensive, and he was Diddy's lawyer for many years. But Benjamin Brafman is a deal maker. He's a deal maker, and maybe Diddy knew this was coming, the arrest and the charges and the indictment. And he said, I'm not making a deal until they really get me within their clutches. So I just want to put that on the table early, okay? Phone lines are open. Let me get set up and situated. Good evening, pardon me, everybody. Late night coming into the morning soon. So that's my main story, Diddy, okay? And, hang on a second. Do you think he has any dirt on 50 Cent? Oh, and do you think, I don't wish this on him, but do you think they will put Diddy down the same way they did Jeffrey Epstein? Do you think they'll put him down? Do you think he'll even make it to a trial? I think that's the main thing we should be considering right now, okay? All right, my showrunner, New York City Mayor Eric Adams, indicted on federal charges, corruption, wire fraud, and a host of other things. I've got the indictment right here. It's also in my community section. You can download the whole thing. I don't feel like combing through this, note for note, but I do want to say this. For those of you, in the New York area, and I want you on the lines heavy tonight, do you think Eric Adams was too old not to know better? Too old not to know better. A former cop. And we can't just say, they lined him up. They've been, according to the complaint here, they've been watching him since he was, hang on a second, goes back to 2014. Wow, 2014 when he became Brooklyn borough president. And the money and the Turkish government and all this other jazz and trying to play games with people from his administration, covering up the cost of plane tickets and flights, yada, yada, yada. He's just too old not to know better. You expect something like this from a Kwame Kilpatrick. Troll babies. Who remembers that fly jiggy nigga? Oh my goodness, in Detroit. Woo! Pinstripe suits and all that jiggy shit. You expect that from a younger guy, but not from an older man like Eric Adams. I will be kicking his back, and I have a 501c3. I work with the police, and I spoke to a couple of my buddies today, and I say, hey, I got to get back to you. I'm heading down to Myrtle Beach. I'll tell you about that later. And I think he's just too old not to know better. The complaint is very detailed in case you don't know. Here's what I want to get brought up to speed on in case anybody does have the intel. Is HSI behind the investigation? I know that the Department of Justice and others have been, the DOJ indictment, okay, but HSI, and some of you're not familiar with HSI. I saw some goofy in my comments, two goofies yesterday. Oh, it's not HSI, it's DHS. One thing you can count on for sure, whether you like me or not, I have sources. Homeland Security Investigations, HSI. You can go to their website. They are a premier federal law enforcement agency within the Department of Homeland Security. Let me tell you what they specialize in. They conduct federal criminal investigations into illegal movement of people, goods, money, contraband, weapons, and sensitive technology into and out of through the United States. Okay, and then it goes on to say we also play a crucial role in investigating crimes of exploitation. This includes combating child exploitation, human trafficking, financial fraud, and scams. HSI, please just Google them. I wouldn't just, throw it out there. They are a division of DHS, okay? So are they behind the mayor, who people are calling for his resignation? Oh, did you see AOC, huh? That little Hispanic chihuahua. Hey, he's got to resign. He's got to resign. And other, hold on a second. New York City Council members, they're calling for Eric Adams to immediately step down. Now, let me just say this before I go to the phones. Did anybody see the pathetic press conference that the mayor of New York City had today? He was standing there with these old Negroes, old Negro clergymen and old Negro women. I say that with no disrespect and no malice. You had somebody who looked like Mahalia Jackson in the back with a goddamn church hat on. You had an old nigga in some type of dashiki. He's there playing with the goddamn phone as Adams is talking. And then you had some older woman. She's in her 90s. She's talking on the microphone. She's doing that old thing, I said, what the fuck, man? Where is a representative from the LGBTQ plus? There were no Hispanics standing with him. Anybody notice that? No Hispanics stood with him. Nobody with the yarmulke. Standing there trying to nigger-splain. Oh, and salute to whoever had the bullhorn, just going ape shit, whoever that person is, salute to them. So I don't feel sorry for Eric Adams. Corruption charges and a host of other things. Get this nigga out of here, if you ask me, okay? All right, I'll talk to you a little bit later about, I was down in Myrtle Beach. Man, what a long drive, but it was worth it. Hey, Ebony, I got your donation. Thank you so much. Ebony says Kwame served his time. Now he's a pastor. Yes, Kwame Kilpatrick. Yeah. Didn't he do like close to a decade? I think Diddy is going to try and make some type of change, with regards to becoming a pastor. And I had to stop and think about that. He's smart enough to go down that lane. He and I used to have conversations with regards to, the two of us going to public and private schools. He's a smart nigga. Maybe that's just one of the reasons why we bonded. I'm a rat. Now he's going to be a fucking rat. Sunday, I got your donation. Thank you, darling. Thank you for tapping in. Good to hear from you, okay? All right. Let's get down to business. I'm sipping a little Merlot tonight. I want to act up, and I want to have a healthy, robust discussion. Okay. Where's Sunday on a early edition? Hey, Sunday, I got your support. Thank you so much. How are you? Where do you want to start?
Hey, Star. I just wanted to make a quick comment about Diddy. So I think that the only person that he could tell on is Jay-Z. I think he's the only other big fish who, authorities might look favorably upon him for ratting out.
Okay.
That's the only other person. And I think there's a lot of spectators like Jaguar White and a lot of other people that feel like he's implicated in a lot of his downfall and activities. And they're parallel. They operated in a parallel setup where they're both the same age. They were in the same industry. They were in the same places a lot of the time.
Right.
So I think he's the only person that he could implicate in this that would help him kind of get off. Because as far as what I can tell, maybe the evidence is suppressed, but a lot of people are saying that there's not enough evidence against Diddy outside of a DV sexual assault civil suit. A lot of these women that are coming forward, those are cash grabs. They're for civil. They're not criminal cases. They're all civil. So he could fight this because there's not been any evidence yet to tie him to significant charges other than the DV and sexual assault.
I have to jump in right there. Sunday, you're a very smart woman. Have you read the complaint? It's from,
I have.
Okay.
Yes, I have. So
HSI. And I read a little bit with regards to what they specialize in case you don't know. It's an agency that works with inside of DHS. And they've got over 200 offices nationwide. And they've got some serious charges on Diddy. Not just the guns with the serial numbers scratched off, but obstruction of justice, and other charges. So it's it's bigger than just, freaking off. But go ahead.
No, for sure. I do think he's going to get time regardless, but I don't think it's going to be the lengthy sentence that everybody's hoping for. I mean, I might be ridiculed for saying this, but I truly believe that you don't get to $1 billion being a dummy. It doesn't matter what you've done to harm others. You're not dumb. That's one thing you can't claim. If you've gotten to $1 billion, that's a huge accomplishment, regardless of how you got there. Yeah. And you have to be smart, either street smart or academically.
He's smart. I've had many
he's very intelligent.
He's a smart guy.
So maybe he's right. And so, I mean, I've seen inmates be smarter than their lawyers. They can read in the law library and educate themselves to figure out how to get out of their situation. Yeah. People have compared him to R. Kelly, but R. Kelly is not a billionaire. He never was. No. R. Kelly is a predator, whereas Sean Combs is a businessman and a predator. He's both. He's not just one.
If I can jump in, R. Kelly is also dyslexic, and that's not something to clown him for, because I've got people close to me who are dyslexic. But no, Diddy's very smart. Okay. So what you're saying about Jay-Z, okay, that's plausible if you ask me. But now we have the mayor of New York who they just ran down on him. I think Diddy told on him. I honestly do think that.
I agree with you. And I think that Diddy is smart enough to play chess with this whole ordeal. Because I think he covered his tracks. I think that's what any smart criminal does. They cover their tracks. And also he has a direct tie to Frank Lucas, who probably taught him everything he knows. And so I don't underestimate that relationship that he had with the original American gangster played by Denzel. That's real. That's not fake. That's verified. Yeah. His father died when he was 3, and then Frank Lucas was in his life. Are you kidding me? I think he covered his tracks. I think that he's going to give prosecution a run for their money. And I think that although I'd like to see him pay for Tupac, I do think he's going to beat most of the charges. Okay. That's my final word. Okay. I don't want to take up more time.
No, it's great to hear from you. Keep me posted.
Thank you, sir.
I don't wish long jail time on Diddy, but he has to be sat down. He got out of control with the whole filming thing. Yeah. I think he learned the majority of what he has been doing from Clive Davis. Frank Lucas is just an old dumb nigger. He's an old dumb nigger. He got caught, people give him a whole lot of props and credit because, he was selling heroin in the 70s. But Clive Davis taught him about different legal means and contracts and things like that. That's how he used to jam up a lot of the artists. Catch him and jam them up. But I appreciate your call. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Bye now.
Good night.
Anybody see Clive Davis playing dumb somewhere a week or so ago? They pushed up on him and asked him about Diddy. He said, "What? The diddler." Oh, he's going to tell. He's going to tell. Big J got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. Prosecutors called Jaguar Wright as star witness. Oh, my God. So I'm with the bullshit. I want to see Jaguar Wright called to the stand. I want to see Choke No Joke called as a witness. Let's make it a real circus. Let's make it a real circus. Lex Diamonds, he says, salute fam. Diddy going to die? F. Adams. Diddy's playing with some really, if you ask me, high rollers right now. For him to just outright say he wants to testify, that's it's a bit much if you ask me. So area code 602. Hey, good evening. Coming up on the morning. Are you there? Late night? Diddy, gonna tell.
I am. Can you hear me?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, baby. Who's this?
Hey, how are you? So I'm calling from Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
I wanted to just give a few points. I know you were talking about the mayor of New York
Yes.
being indicted.
Eric Adams.
I read about that today. I don't know too much about it because I live in Arizona, so I don't really know too much about it.
Okay.
All I know is whenever I saw him on TV and speaking, he kind of looked like seemed like a scammer. But I don't live in New York, so I don't know how people in New York feel about him.
Come on.
But anyway, so as far as the Diddy situation, I'll just make 2 points because I feel like a lot of people have already touched on it. I feel like because I read today on the TMZ report, they said that Diddy is planning to testify at his federal trial.
Yes.
And I obviously, a lot of us know that's going to be a big mistake for him. That's how you get yourself in a jam. But I feel like the narcissist inside of him, the ego inside of him, like he can't help it. And it'll be interesting and entertaining to see because the federal prosecutor is going to rip him to shreds on that stand. They don't do the mind games. They don't do the manipulation tactics. They don't do the charm, the charisma. They don't fall for that. You know what I mean? And so that's what I wanted to say on that. How did you feel when you found out that or heard that he might be testifying on the stand? Did you see it coming?
I said I would have done the exact same thing.
Really?
Yeah. You got time? Stay with me. I'm in no rush. You got time? You got time?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would have done the exact same thing. Put me on the stand. I'm gonna fight going down. I'm going down, but I'm gonna fight. It's a decision that you make within. If you're selfish, confident, convinced, and conceited, and he's all three of those. You say, hey, you know what? Fuck it. It's all business. And the New York tri-state, it's a business district. It's not gangland like LA. You know. And hey, I told because it was business. If you look at the track record of other people, big time drug dealers, thugs, and so on and so forth, they tell. Mm-hmm. All those Brooklyn niggas from back in the day, especially Brooklyn, they were telling. They made me say, you know what?
Right, but
it's
the thing
cool
is, that's where I want to stop you because you said. If you look at mob history and things like that with drug dealers, they tell. And I've been thinking since the whole Diddy trial came out, he has been moving like he's a mobster, like he's a real chief, back in the day in a top criminal enterprise or organization. And that's what he's being charged with now. So he sort of got what he wanted in a way. But I don't think he's smart enough to be up there on the stand and be cross-examined by the federal government.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why, because his lawyer seems like he eats jelly beans for breakfast or something. Like every time he talks, he's like, I don't know if anyone else feels the same way, but the lawyer is like very, I don't know if he's a rookie or something like that, but he kind of seems like a lawyer that kind of just passed law school. So that's what I just wanted to comment on. Let me see.
I appreciate you giving your opinion. You know, I don't claim to have the answer, but I will say this though. I think that he's smart enough to get on that stand and tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. If he tells the truth, they're gonna have to say, "Well, you know what? He told," and tell on everybody. Tell on young, Miami. Yes, young.
That was going to be my next question.
Well, what is her name, baby?
What
is her name? How do you say her name?
Carisha.
Carisha used to bring the pink cocaine 3:00 in the morning. I could depend on her. What's that?
No, I said not the pink cocaine.
yeah. She was in one of those goddamn complaints. So yes, be truthful. I think that would help him. But good, you finish up. Good.
So what I was going to ask you, Star, is so let's just play case scenario. Let's say Diddy gets convicted, and we know what the charges are. We know the minimum and maximum sentence it carries. What minimum sentence do you think that he'll get? Because I don't think he's going to walk away without jail time.
Right.
So for me, I think he's going to do minimum 10 years, maximum 25.
Okay. I don't
think he's going to do life.
I have no idea. I think that being the smart guy that he is, he will cut a deal, do, as you said, a decade, and then go into witness protection. That's what I would do.
Yeah, because he'll give up the names, like what you were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, baby. Thank you.
All right. Well, I'll keep watching the show. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much. Okay. Area code 678. Good evening. 2 topics on the table. Are you there? 6.
I'm there, Star. How are you doing, brother? How are you?
Sir. Don't call me a brother, sir. Please.
Oh,
continue.
Gotcha. I'm sorry. To answer the previous caller, Damian Williams, Harvard Law, Yale attorney, is who's prosecuting. He prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell, Cam Bankman-Fried, obviously Sean Combs, and now Eric Adams. This came after Eric Adams was critical against Biden and his take on the migrant situation. Mm-hmm. So there's a bigger play going on right now. Ultimately, the previous caller is correct. This guy is a prosecutor, similar to the Kamala Harris route, similar to which be in Fulton County DA. Mm-hmm. They're kind of sacrificing certain people. There's not to say that there's no fire when there's smoke,
right?
But the timing is very coincidental. And I also want to speak to the young lady who was asking you what years Diddy would get her.
Hang on a second, sir. I don't like callers to address other callers because then that can become a little weird.
Sure.
In layman's terms, for those, again, outside of New York who don't know what you're talking about, because sure, New York is still the number 1 market in terms of certain things, but people just don't keep up with the politics. I don't. So give us, just in layman's terms, what you're saying. Okay. And
Absolutely. Absolutely. So with Diddy, him testifying would bring down so many other celebrities that you've named.
Right.
The issue with that is we would get into a Clive Davis, Jimmy Iovine, a certain group, and I'll leave it there.
Okay.
And that just won't happen. In that same Brooklyn prison, mm-hmm, Epstein magically, and we can leave that blank. Mm-hmm. I don't think
Hello, hello, hello. Sir, are you there? I didn't hang up on you, sir. 678. I can't hear you. Did you hit the mute button? 678. Did you hit the mute button? Hello? Hello, hello, hello. I think his phone is dying. I didn't hang up on him. Sir, are you there? We cannot hear you. We cannot hear you, sir. His phone dropped out. I don't know what happened. Phone line's open.
Hello?
Yeah, sir, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Your phone keeps dropping out. I did not hang up. Your phone keeps dropping out. Come on.
Oh.
All right. Can you either call back or take off the headset? Your phone keeps dropping out, so we cannot hear you. I don't know what else to say. I gotta go. All right. His phone keeps dropping out. He was saying some good stuff, and I appreciate his breakdown. Area code 424. Sit tight. You're up next. 424. Okay. Dominic, I got your donation. Star, you and Gene Deal have been saying Diddy is an FBI informant. Yes, I truly believe that. And I think it's the smart thing to do for him to take the stand, to tell. But I'm not sure if he'll even make it to the stand. I'm not laughing at the possibility of what can happen, but I think they're going to split that nigga's wig in the late night. NJ Mack got your donation. Sacrificial lambs and untouchables will compromise the snitch list. There is no universe where he gets every name out, okay? If any at all, if there are politicians and corp executives involved before cutting a deal or passing away. Yeah, he's willing to tell. Hold on a second, guys. I'm also using Zelle in case anybody's having any issues with Cash App, okay? There's an email address. You can donate with Zelle. I was thinking about using a phone number, but I'm just not sure what would be, easier for you guys. But I thank you for your support, okay? Thank you, Dominic, again for your donation. Johnny Too Cool. All right, Johnny, are you in the queue? Sit tight. Johnny likes to troll. Give me a second, Johnny. Let me go to area code 424. Good evening. We're talking about a few topics. Are you up to speed? 424.
Yes, hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yeah, hi. I'm here to offer a little balance.
Please.
Throughout this entire ordeal since the 16th of September, of course, when Diddy was arrested, even prior to that, there is this misnomer that the feds are invincible. Everybody talk about this high conviction rate.
Right.
You know why the conviction rate is so high? Because it's a bunch of snitches.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you, this is personal research I've done as well as being engrossed in federal government. I'd rather not say how, but trust me, you're talking to somebody who's pretty knowledgeable. First of all, the feds have absolutely nothing. The feds are political. You pointed that out already. Also, the feds are very, very corrupt. That's something that doesn't get talked about. For example, we at home minding our own business on September the 16th. Then we hear all of a sudden that Diddy gets arrested. Then the press conference comes. We hear this long barrage of information. First of all, indictments. The document itself is never that lengthy and detailed, and that is very unusual. So that lets you know that the government is selling something. You're talking about 6 months since he got his home raided, and here, there too, then he gets arrested. There's nothing, and I'm going to tell you, it's fundamentally unconstitutional to have someone arrested and build their case when there's absolutely no evidence. You can't have a RICO, you can't have trafficking or nothing without a plethora of people. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. The reason Diddy is confident. First of all, billionaires don't hire novice lawyers, so I don't know what people, some people are saying regarding today. And I'm talking about even these YouTubers, not yourself, of course, but I've heard on a lot of these YouTubers and these content creators, they just like a Fed's infomercial. Right. But at the end of the day, these feds are not as invincible. What they have is people, just like right now, they praying, and they did the same thing with R. Kelly, local case in Chicago as well as this federal case. Anybody with information come forward, they're building their case. That's Star. If I am a federal officer, if I'm a federal FBI agent, I come to arrest you, I'm supposed to have ironclad evidence on you. I don't supposed to, let's get Star arrested, then manufacture our case. That is a violation of your constitutional rights. So what I'm basically saying is that there's this fundamental unfairness that gets perpetuated by the media, and the media runs with it. When I was in government, we benefited from that. The reason I'm not in it no more, because I could not sleep at night knowing the subversive things that the government do. This New York homeland.
I hope you got your pension, sir. I hope you got your pension.
Oh, yeah, I got my pension. Oh, definitely. But I'm telling you, listen, and that's a good point you made. Yeah. But Star, when I was with the government, we was worse than drug dealers.
Right.
We arrested, talking about sex trafficking. And Star, I'm gonna tell you something else.
Hang on now. Can I respond? Because you've said a lot of things that I agree with.
Sir.
A lot of things I agree with.
Yes.
And you're right. Certain things now are unconstitutional, and prior to 9/11, you can tell me better than I can convey to the audience. Since 9/11, the Patriot Act, they allow the feds or Homeland Security to come into your home, search it, and they don't even have to tell you they were there, right? That's unconstitutional.
That's exactly right.
Based upon the goddamn the Bill of Rights and other things. Okay, you were saying?
Let me add this too, without being too extensive. This is so interesting, and trust me, I love YouTube. I love listening to all you guys. Get a lot of your content and others. And when I hear some of these novice YouTube creators, content creators, my heart goes out for them because they mean well. Some of them operating from a good place, but they just don't know. Let me tell you something, and this is going to blow you away. Okay. Epstein is not dead.
Oh,
and I can say that because I know I can't be traced. Epstein is not dead.
You might be right.
They talk all and listen. I'm not trying to make this a race thing because I'm not big on just making everything race. I'm telling you right now, Diddy is a powerful individual. R. Kelly was powerful in his own way, not quite on the level of Diddy, wealth-wise. They'll tell you the reason you're hearing about Weinstein and Epstein is somewhere in a private environment where nobody ever be able to see and know, and they are somewhere. Listen, do you know how hard it is? I don't know if you know anybody that ever been to a federal prison, but do you know how hard it is, even at the MCC, whether Chicago's MCC or New York's MCC, where Diddy is very similar. Do you know how hard it is to commit suicide? And moreover, notice when they said Epstein committed suicide, Star, you never heard nothing about no tapes. They got cameras running everywhere in those federal buildings where people are waiting to fight their case. And those are temporary holding environments because they're fighting their case or waiting to be taken to where they actually going to be their time. But what I'm merely saying, just to be concise about it, there's a lot of misconceptions. The feds are more corrupt than any drug dealer, any gangbanger, any killer you ever met. They will do anything, and it's all politically induced. This is why I retired early. The first opportunity I got, I'm not an old man, so I was able to get out of it. But I'm telling you, when I tell you, so I just would hope, and I'm not trying to, entice people to believe one thing or another. I don't have a horse in the race, but I will say this. Be very careful how you believe the media. That's my biggest takeaway. I hope.
Can I jump in?
That's the media.
Yes, sir. Can I jump in? You're preaching to the you're preaching to the choir here.
Yes, sir.
I don't know anybody who's went in and served a lot of time, but I do know prison guards and people like that
Oh, wow.
When I took my California road trip, I went to Folsom State Prison. I put that on my on my IG page.
Yeah.
Man, that place, woo! It smells like death. I mean, they let me come in and they showed me around, but yeah, the media has an agenda, and you might be right about Epstein. I'm not sure. But
I know I'm right, Star, about that.
Okay.
And moreover, Star, and
But hang on, I need you to explain to the audience, because I became aware of HSI a few years ago, Homeland Security Investigations. Do you know about them and what it is that they focus on? A lot of people, they only know about
Homeland Security has no right to be even involved in this case. That lets you know it's something bigger going on. Word I'm getting from colleagues who are still involved, not necessarily in New York, just to be clear, but who are very knowledgeable, just like myself, and even those who are still there. I've been removed about 4 years now, thank God. But when I tell,
but hang on.
Yes, sir.
HSI, which is an agency within Department of Homeland Security. That's who is they have 200 offices across the nation here. They focus on human trafficking, scamming, financial fraud, and other things. Any knowledge on them? I don't know the full scope of what they do.
And Homeland Security as a whole, because all of it is under the auspices of Homeland Security.
Right.
But here's what I'm merely saying, though, and that's a good point you're raising. Homeland Security only have one angle to possibly even try to think they can be involved in a case like this. You have to have ironclad proof that there has been sex trafficking. There is no proof. There's been nothing presented. We heard a lot of smoke and mirrors when this Damian guy, Williams guy, he looking all, intellectual with his blue jacket on, his suit, the whole thing. At the end of the day, he's up there. He's selling us something, just like a politician. He's just manufacturing a case.
Yeah.
He's saying things that appeal to the public. Baby oil, 1,000 bottles, whether it's true or not. All of it is designed to get your mind off the fact that he has nothing. And listen, for example, they say they got 50-some witnesses. No, 50-some victims. Well, it's 49 witnesses they talk to, if they talk to that many. Let me just say this. Know that they are not above a lie. They get up there and they say, yes, Sean Combs did this. Casey, and listen, you and I think I speak for me, you and a lot of guys out there listening, none of us are advocates of a woman getting beat under any circumstances.
Certainly not.
However, nothing on that tape, as egregious as it appeared to the naked eye at home watching on CNN and all these entities, nothing in that suggests that there was sex trafficking going on. That's not even a part of the indictment. They referenced that at the press conference. All of these things have to be taken into account. And let me tell you something. I operated out of the 7th District.
I think you're saying too much now. Don't incriminate yourself on the Star Report. A lot of folks listen. Just take it easy.
Yeah, you got a point. Okay, let me take it back a little bit. But yeah, and I appreciate. Hey, Star, that's why you are growing and you're at the level you are. Even when you was in radio, your intellect and people follow you because you're always thinking, man. I appreciate that. But Star, this is just a travesty. And I'm listening to people. I ain't gonna name, but I almost said one of the well-known popular content creator name, but I'm just hearing they go out and they appealing to the women. And, for those who are making this race thing, we have to be impartial. And that's what I kind of really grown to appreciate about you, having listened to a lot of your content stuff, and you always on the cutting edge of what's going on.
Can I jump in? Can I jump in?
Yes, sir.
Before you go, officer. Okay. We've taken in everything you've said. But now we have Sean Diddy Combs in custody. He is going to have to try to get out of this. He is offered, according to multiple reports, to take the stand. What do you think happens from here? In your expert,
I'm so glad you asked me
your
this.
Expert opinion, what happens from here?
I said it with R. Kelly early on. I said it now. Let me tell you all something.
Okay.
You and all of your listeners, and you remember this call, to pick up your pen and note it down. Just remember this 424 area code you get this call from said, Diddy will never see the light of day.
Ooh.
And I'm going to tell you why. Not because they have a case.
Right.
They are cheaters. I know for a fact that they plant jurors. They get jurors in there and to induce all kind of under the table things. When they want you, they are like gangbangers and drug dealers. They just, like the kids say, they debo you into whatever they want, and they use their power. I'm telling you, when they come and create all of this buzz, can you imagine after all this defamation that he's underwent, for him to walk out of there? Even he got the best lawyers. He's paying them handsomely, but they are not going to get him off, not because they're not doing their jobs. They're probably doing their jobs too well. The feds know that they have to put some jurors in there and just, I think the fix is already in. And this is me talking.
It doesn't serve the interest of the public to have this nigga, have this nigga walk free after kissing on a little white girl's named Ava. No,
that's exactly right. No. That's exactly. Oh, you said. Hey, remember? Star. Do you remember R. Kelly's the big thing they did, surviving R. Kelly? All of that defamation. Can you imagine him walking out getting acquitted? He would have $100 billion lawsuit or whatever number you want to come up with, because his career being a big star. Same thing with Diddy. I just hope when they got Diddy at that hotel and they walked him from the hotel that short distance to wherever those Fed's vehicle was, I hope he got a good look around, because unfortunately he will not see the light of day to answer your question.
Officer,
and I appreciate your time, and I appreciate your open mind.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay.
All right, sir. Bye-bye.
Good call there. Good call there. Folks, I'm a high school dropout. I don't claim to be the sharpest knife in the drawer, but please do some research on HSI. You can go to the website, dhs.gov. HSI. People think I'm a weirdo because I don't, or my phone blocks images, links, and audio files. You can't even send me an audio file. My phone blocks all that stuff. And it's not you younger people. It's the old niggas from my generation. They get old and they want to start, clearing their conscience. Now reach out to me and send me a picture and involve me in some shit. Fuck out of here. Some of you think I'm a weirdo because of how I deal with females. Every conversation I've had with females for the last 20 years has been recorded. Every text messages saved. If I've ever hung out with you, I've got your information, your social security number. I take pictures of your license plate. Let me keep it real. Oh, I got you. I got you before you got me. I had to say that. Where is Johnny Two Claw? He wants to troll and troll and troll. Hold on a second. I got time. Johnny, did you drop out of the queue? What happened? He couldn't wait. Where is 240? Johnny Too Cool? Okay, he couldn't hang on. Are you there? 601? Yes, sir.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, man. I was listening to the conversation.
To the retired agent. Retired agent.
Yeah, a lot of people saying, hey, who did? A lot of people saying who did it gonna give up? Hey, nobody, man. You can't give up nobody, man.
Come on.
A lot of these big time people are protected, man. Like the caller said earlier, many callers, this political, man. Okay. This is a spanking for Diddy, man. Diddy got out of line. He thought he was bigger than the program. This is just a spanking. I mean, there's nobody could tell. Maybe you could tell on that the mayor of New York. Now that might be a big headline.
He already did. If you ask me.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but as far as any of these other people and these freak offs that having sex, they already know about that. And then this guy Damian Williams, man, he's just their he's just their enforcer, man. This U.S. attorney, man, he's up and coming, young guy, went to Harvard, Yale.
Oh.
He's just their enforcer, man. He's just their muscle to say, hey, we need you to ring these guys in, and they're gonna run them through the Southern District of New York. So I don't think.
Are you from the New York Tri-State, sir?
No, I'm from the earth, man.
Okay.
But I study current affairs everywhere, man.
Gotcha.
And I pretty much kind of look at these events and look at these political situations. You know, Bernie Ebbers, right? Remember Bernie Ebbers from Mississippi?
Yeah.
He was tried in New York, man. They snatched him up from Mississippi to New York. Remember?
Come on.
That same Southern District, man. So just go down to Southern District, and they got on him because remember the European Union and the Sprint merger, right? So anything that they don't like as far as political, man, they send them to the Southern District.
Right. Yeah.
So this is all political, man. And and Homeland Security, man. Yeah, Homeland Security does handle human trafficking. Yes. I don't know what the caller was talking about earlier, but yeah, Homeland Security was, that was formed right after 9/11.
No, well, hang on, sir. We were focusing on HSI, Homeland Security.
Yeah, HSI.
Homeland Security Investigations.
Homeland Security
Investigations. Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so it's the same thing, man. They just do the investigation part. Like you got detectives in local law enforcement, you got patrolmen, then you got detectives, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So they just handle the investigation part of it, man. But Homeland Security was established after 9/11, man, to snoop and to really investigate American citizens, man.
Yes. Domestic terrorists. Domestic terrorists.
Exactly. So the gangs, all this stuff that's taking place. You got the gangs, New York, California, Chicago, all that's being investigated by Homeland Security. Human trafficking, prostitution, drugs, all that's Homeland Security.
That's right. It's a fact.
Your phone's tapped, Homeland Security.
Text messages, Homeland Security.
Text messages, all that, man. Google, Chrome. You see, Chrome, Google. You type in your phone number in Chrome. You like, damn, they got my number and my name. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Every time you go. Every time you visit one of them escort sites, they got your information.
I wouldn't know about that, sir, but I appreciate the call.
Yeah, Chrome is got everything, man.
Okay.
And then the Homeland Security got access to that. Remember Snowden broke that down through the NSA.
Eric Snowden, yeah. So I have to take other calls. Thank you for your call.
All right, take care.
Yes, sir. Okay. 917. Good evening. Late night. We're talking about a few topics. Are you there? 917.
Hey, Star.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Star, how are you this
I'm great. How are you? Where do you want to start, dear?
I was shocked you weren't. I was really shocked you didn't come on last night.
Say again?
But I just have 3 points. I was shocked you weren't on the radio last night. I'm not the radio.
Oh.
You didn't come on the Star Report.
No, I had to handle some business, but I'm back in the saddle here, and I thank you for your patience. Where do you want to start? Diddy, according to multiple reports, he wants to testify, or Mayor Adams?
So there are 3 things here that I just want to raise. 3 points.
Come on.
Number one, the caller who mentioned that this is a political hit on Eric Adams from the Biden administration, I agree with that.
Okay.
Because if you recall, Eric Adams invited migrants to the city of New York, said everybody come here, and thousands came on buses.
Okay.
And then he wanted to shake down the Biden-Harris administration for $12 billion. A lot of that money was going to go to his friends, like security firms and different providers of services for these shelters that the migrants are staying in. In the meantime, we have migrants on scooters knocking down elderly people and stealing their purses all over the city of New York. So that's number one. Number two, the sex trafficking thing is it's really plausible as far as Diddy is concerned, because again, he has a house on Star Island. Jennifer Lopez has a house on Star Island, and so does Naomi Campbell. Naomi Campbell was very good friends with Ghislaine Maxwell. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but Naomi Campbell found herself in a very strange predicament when people said, hey, you've been in photographs with Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein.
Right.
So I think I think people should start looking at that connection as well. Then she
well, hang on a second. Naomi Campbell was just either removed or banned from something with a board. She's supposedly on some type of charity due to allegations of overspending. Did you catch that, Naomi Campbell?
No, I didn't hear about that. I didn't hear about that, but she allegedly has a billionaire boyfriend.
Right.
That she has that house on Star Island with.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, because she's also been in quite a few photographs with Diddy.
Yeah.
And those are two things I think people should take into consideration. A, the political hit on Eric Adams. I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that he's an effective leader, because I do not think he is. But again, he did try to shake down the Biden-Harris administration for $12 billion to pay for the migrant crisis he caused in New York City. And B, Naomi Campbell and her affiliation with Diddy, her buddy-buddy system with Diddy, and also her affiliation with Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell should be taken into consideration again. So that's all I have to say for tonight. You're doing a great job. Really proud of you.
Hang on. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So Eric Adams, according to this, which is now a unsealed indictment, they go back to 2014 when he became a Brooklyn borough president. So they've been watching him for a while, and they're saying, I'm giving you the short version here. He took $10 million in all sorts of straw donors and things of that nature. Any thoughts, any knowledge about his role as opposed to just being a target? And I do believe he is a target, but his role, he's too old not to know better, in my opinion.
Well, sometimes people, when they get away with things for a long time, they become very brazen, and the arrogance actually overcomes their common sense. So it wouldn't surprise me. I'm still in the process of reading the 52-page or 54-page indictment.
57.
But again, 57. Okay, it's pretty long. I think wasn't Diddy's only 14 pages long, and Eric Adams is much longer. But I do think that Biden and Harris had it out for him, and it's not like they're not on the take as well, because we all know the situation with Ukraine and Biden's son and all the money that's been going back to the Biden administration. So this is a whole political machine. This is how it works. And once they get them crosshairs on you, you could just forget about it. Also, the third thing I wanted to mention, the caller who claims that he was a Fed or he works for the Fed.
Easy. I don't want to, don't go after another caller, please.
I'm not outing anybody.
Okay.
No. It just, he kind of sounded like Saucy Santana.
Okay. Can we not do that, please? Let's not do that.
No, I know, but it sounded like Saucy Santana using.
Can we not take shots at other callers? I appreciate everybody who calls in. I thank you. All
right, bye.
Bye now. 302, are you there? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. What's up, Star?
Yes, sir. How are you? Good evening.
I just wanted to talk about the Diddy thing first.
Yeah, he's going to tell. Sir. He's going to tell. Okay. You have the floor, sir. You have the floor.
All right. So, research in the Jonathan Oddie 2018, and that sex and Diddy was forcing them to have sex with Cassie. This was before them crazy.
So we're getting some type of your phone's going in and out. Can you make the adjustments and please pick up the pace? Your phone's going in and out. Are you there, sir? 302. Sir, please do not kill the vibe. Whatever you're doing, make the adjustments. I did not hang up on you. Are you there? Are you ready?
I'm here.
Oh, you're there, but your phone is acting. What are you on a T-Mobile? Come on, man. You're killing the show. Come on.
Hold on. Let me go outside.
No, I got to get you out of here. Just I think this is Elvis. Are you there, Elvis? Are you ready? Big Elvis, the chef?
Elvis, the chef Rosenberg. I am here, star, and I'm ready.
Okay, you got to come closer to the phone, sir. I know I can count on you. Okay.
Free Diddy. Big Elvis, the chef Rosenberg. I am here.
Of course. Free Diddy. Go ahead, sir.
Well, this great show. I like the ex-Fed, the retired Fed that called. That was a great caller. The whole show was popping. I like this late night aspect that you're pushing.
Thank you, man.
You got what it takes. You're doing the damn thing, star. And we're talking about speculating on who Diddy could be snitching on.
Yeah.
What I would like to argue is that it's not that he's going to be snitching, it's just that he's going to be showing other tapes of interviews with these people in these environments where there's this whole idea of hidden cameras. But what a lot of people don't know is that there was cameras and the people were willing participants in making, to be interviewed during these parties, during these events, and it was nothing that was hidden. Were there hidden things? I'm sure there was. But there was also out in the open with things. And we got a situation where I talked about this 2 years ago, where Cassie was known to be very violent with Diddy. And he alluded to it with his attorney when his attorney came out after the first bail denial. And Diddy has video of her assaulting him and being very violent.
Okay.
And there's even this guy who was arrested for shooting up the hotel in Florida, the Trump Hotel in Florida.
Well, somebody was just on the line. They mentioned his name. I forget his name. That was back in 2018.
Right. Where he mentioned that he was a slave, a sex slave for Cassie, not for Diddy. Cassie is the girl who was dominating the room with these men, and she was controlling them. And the worst thing Diddy ever did was pay this woman that 30. He should have just had her prove that she did not squirt across the room and enjoy herself. And he has enough.
I need you to be careful with those types of, sexual references, please.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
I know you don't own YouTube. Yeah. Forgive me. This is not the Star Chamber.
Jonathan Oddi, ODDI. That's who you're talking about. Jonathan Oddi from 2018, when he was talking, and whoever he was talking to, more than likely the feds, I'm not sure, or the local police. He referenced Diddy, as you said. He referenced Diddy. And the guy interviewing him said, I'm not interested in Diddy. Cut him short. And then he went back to talking about whatever he was saying. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what's going to happen with this type of trial is that Diddy's going to put on the table enough evidence to show that he was the ringleader. Yes, he was the ringleader to willing participants, and there was never any of this coercion that they're trying to push. The way the feds are pushing all this paperwork and they're pushing all this evidence, it's the same thing they did with R. Kelly. They never talked about the Mann Act, but that was the only thing he was convicted of. This is them trying to get public opinion to convict these people before there's even a trial. And my hat goes off to Diddy if he takes the stand.
I have to jump in, Elvis, because we've had this discussion already, you and I, a few episodes back. Now, have you taken the time to read the complaint? Because it's a lot more than just sex parties and willing participants. I asked you this before.
Yes, I read the complaint. I read the complaint. Okay. I read it, and let me tell you, it's all, to me, it's a lot of mumble jumble. It's a lot of speculation. Yeah. Like they talk about the baby oil, but they never talk about the 500 deodorants. They never talk about all the 500 shampoos. They don't talk about the big razors, hundreds of razors. This was a person that could arguably say, I am damn near a prepper. When I was coming up, my father would have 50, 60 bars of Irish Spring and Dove soap and tons of body wash. Like just the whole, it was just ridiculous. All the
Elvis, I have to jump in because again, we've already had that conversation. Where we are right now is Diddy has agreed he wants to testify. Pick it up from there. That's what's trending now. That's what I want to address. I'm not trying to fight his case right now. He wants to testify,
right.
please.
Well, Diddy's he wants to testify, and I say I'm thankful that he's gonna testify if that's what he's gonna do. Because Diddy has a lot of stuff to tell about people. They're willing participants in this lifestyle.
Okay.
Free Diddy, Star. Free
Thank you,
Diddy.
Elvis. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Big Elvis, the Chef Rosenberg tapping in. Leilani, I got your donation. Hey, Leilani, she says, Star, thank you for talking about some of these hoe-ass niggas trying to stop the bag. My baby daddy tried that goofy shit with me. Thank you for your donation, darling. Nigga asked me if I could help him sabotage her bag. Why? You didn't pay child support for a decade. Man up, nigga. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. That looks like spam. New York City mayor indicted on corruption charges for those who really care. Again, in my community section is the full unsealed indictment, 57 pages. Embarrassing, the press conference that he had earlier this morning. I didn't see not one Hispanic standing with him. So there goes that whole black and brown coalition bullshit out the window, right? I saw no Caucasians. I saw nobody with a yarmulke. I saw nobody from the LGBTQ plus. He just had a whole bunch of old church people. That's who you're going to fight the feds with? Nick, you better throw in the towel fast. Rosito, got your donation. Thank you so much for your support. Rosito says, if Diddy talks, he either won't be around much longer or everything will be blamed on a few unlucky scapegoats. Well, in my opinion, what he is going to do is it will be snitching with regards to crimes. If you commit a crime with someone and you tell, that's snitching. I've snitched. If you're just an innocent bystander and you saw something, or you're a property owner and you call the police, you're a concerned citizen. There's a difference. The check-in report, I got your donation. Star, I think Bishop Lamore Whitehead dropped the dime on Eric Adams. He's sitting in a cell keeping beverages cold in a toilet. Don't forget him. Oh, good point, sir. The check-in report. Did you do a video on that, man? If you did, send me a link so I can put it in my community section. Bishop Lamore Whitehead, what did he get, guys? 5-10 years? He was in cahoots with Eric Adams. I'm sure he told something to get reduced time. The N-word, I got your donation. Star Eric Adams was trying to buy TV One. That's why he got indicted. Pay attention. I love when people say that. No, they was getting ready Diddy was getting ready to start a black political party. That's why they did this now. Well, let me just say, thank God. There is no God, but thank God if the feds and Homeland Security stepped in because he was thinking about starting a black political party. I saw some video. I couldn't even watch the whole thing. He and Lesser Charge, Charlemagne, talking about starting a black political party. Anybody see that video? Thank God they stepped in and shut that nigger down. Bruce, I got your donation. Okay, he says, who is representing Diddy? Well, sir, you just Google it. It's right there. It's right there. Okay. Let's get back to the phone lines here. Area code 626. Late night. 2 topics on the table. Are you there? 626. Yes,
What's
Phil?
up? What's up? What's up, big nigga?
Yes, sir. How are you?
What we on? What we on? We kicking Diddy's back in tonight or what?
Big nigga news tonight. We got the big nigga. He's going to tell. He's going to tell on other niggas.
Yeah. You know what? Hey, Star. You know what? Diddy is gonna tell, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he don't want to go to jail. They just took him away from all the things he just had.
Right.
He went from mansions. He went from mansions, pools, maids. He went from all of that to a bathroom. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, Star. Where he's from? He from Brooklyn?
Now, Diddy's from Mount Vernon, New York. I forget where he was born, but most of his time was spent in Mount Vernon. You know, I'll Google it again. Go ahead.
So let me ask you a question, Star. So you sure you never been to none of them parties back in the day? Hot 97 back in them days.
I was 36 years old when I started doing terrestrial radio. The Star and Buckwild show debuted in 2000, March of 2000. I was already into my philosophy. I had already spent a decade working at the labels. So a lot of those guys they were younger than me. So I wasn't trying to hang out with them to party and, just be amongst, what I consider to be, I don't want to say kids, but just people younger than me. So I had no interest. They always invited me. 50 Cent invited me to his home up, but when he owned Mike Tyson's home, Leor, Russell, and Diddy, I just had no interest.
Yeah, so you didn't have no interest in going. So my thing is, why is Mace so quiet?
I don't think he's quiet. Heard nothing. I don't think he's quiet. I think Mace has been kicking Diddy's back, and Mace spoke a year or so ago about Mama Combs, things being in Mama Combs' name. Did you see that video?
Yeah. And you know what? Diddy ain't as stupid as everybody think he is, man. I think he was already planning this because none of his houses, none of his business, it seems like none of that stuff is in his name. So he knows if they come sue him later on down the line, it's all in, corporations and all that, his mother name and other different people. So he know if they come sue him, they really not going to get nothing from him, but, a few million. You know what I mean? But
hang on a second, sir. Let's go back because I forget a lot of this stuff. He was born in Harlem, Diddy, and raised in Mount Vernon, New York. Okay. Born in Harlem.
Yeah.
1969. This is what, according to Wikipedia, raised in Mount Vernon. Now you threw Mace's name out there. Are you just, you want to see Mace go down? Why'd you throw his name out there? And then you said you saw the video when he was going in on Mama Combs.
No, I seen him going in on Mama Combs. What I'm saying is him and Cameron is outspoken. And I haven't seen them not once right now since Diddy been arrested kick his back in. So I'm wondering what's going on. Why they not speaking about none of that?
Can I respond? Not that I have the answer, but, don't they do a sports show, sir? They do a sports show.
But they kick everybody else back in on things that they see that's going on in the world. They kick everybody else back in, but they have not yet once touched on this.
Okay. I don't know that to be true, but go ahead.
So I was just wondering. And another thing, we're not going to be able to see the trial, man. It's a federal case. The feds don't allow cameras in the building. We're not going to be able to see the trial. Only thing we're going to get is when the lawyers come out and talk to the press, we're going to get that and we're going to go on that. Now, we can see the trial, boy.
They might make an exception this time around. So this could be big for ratings, advertising. They might change it up. I don't know. No.
Man, if that's the case, they would have had El Chapo trial on camera.
Okay.
But man, I just wanted to come get my 2 cents, man. I'll get back with you in a minute, man.
Yes, sir. Okay. Q, I got your donation. Q. Puff is coming home and bodies are gonna drop. Well, he's gonna have to do some time, sir. He's gonna have to do some time. He's going to have to do some time. And I'm not laughing at him. I'm just, the situation itself. I don't want to act like I know his inner thoughts, but when you are self-motivated and driven, sometimes you can have the philosophy and or ideology, that I have, that he has, I come from the school of Ayn Rand, the woman who created the philosophy of objectivism. I've always believed it's not a question of who's going to let me, but rather who's going to stop me. So Ayn Rand said, and I believe Diddy's the same way. So with that being said, jail is just a minor inconvenience. I just didn't have time. Again, you've heard me say that. Not that I'm a tough guy. Jail? Fuck out of here. Let me go to area code 661. 661, are you there?
Hey, yeah, I'm here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you guys touched on Bobby Brown at all? No, Diddy?
You can go there if it's not going to be a long drawn out thing. Bobby Brown, what's the connection you're going to make?
I mean, he's just been in Diddy's award speeches, and he's been prevalent in the LA scene too. So I don't know if you've talked about him yet.
Bobby Brown from New Edition, sir?
Mm-hmm. Because Diddy said in his speech, I got to thank the king, Bobby Brown. He was the first chocolate boy wonder.
Right. You're trolling. You're trolling, sir. But I thank you for the call. I don't know where you're going. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. He almost had me for a minute. Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown's almost blind in one eye. It looks like he's got a tumor in his stomach. I say that with all due respect. Folks, on my screen, I'm trying out Zelle in terms of donations. If you want to support the show, there's the email address for Zelle. I'm still trying to find out if I should use a phone number for Zelle instead of an email address. Anybody got experience? Any thoughts? Please email me. You have my email address, thehater1964yahoo.com, okay? But that's the email address. And at the top of the live chat, let me just double check here before I continue on. At the top of the live chat should be, hold on. Okay, join the conversation and super chat with Star. That's Streamlabs and PayPal, okay? Okay. I'm in the mood to talk. Can you guys, can you be ready when I bring you in the queue? Please don't have us on a speakerphone. You're dragging your lag in. Be ready, okay? 215. Are you ready? Good evening.
I'm ready. What's going on, man? Good evening. Well, good night. Good evening.
Yes, sir. How are you?
All right, so I'm all right, man. I'm gonna go on a crazy conspiracy thing. Not saying I believe it, but just for the sake of conversation and moving the show along. Could it be a possibility, which I doubt, that P. Diddy maneuvered himself into the situation so that he could snitch? And the reason why I say that is because his lawyer does have previous experience in relationship with that district. He's worked with the U.S. attorney of that district, right? The team that's going against him are young women who, if they win, their career is still capped within the U.S. attorney's office. Wow. If they lose, that new lawyer can pull them over to his firm and say, look, thanks for throwing the game for me. I'm going to award you with some jobs over at my firm. And, right, all of the indictments so far that we've seen, you know, they say there may be a superseding indictment, but all the charges that come from that indictment stem from that one incident with Cassie. So if they're able to put that one incident in the context of a long-term toxic relationship where both of them were abusive to each other, then maybe he got a chance of knocking out that incident, therefore tanking the case.
You sound like a read nigga. Stay with me. It's like a read nigga. So you're saying all of this was orchestrated by Diddy to get himself locked up, to then very carefully maneuver his way through the Homeland Security indictment and the charges, and bring his lawyer in so that his lawyer could benefit, and then what? Walk free? I want to be clear. The end result.
Well, I don't want to say walk free.
Okay.
But I mean, you gotta look at it like this. Maybe you do 2 to 5, something like that. Not necessarily walk free, and not necessarily orchestrated by him, but orchestrated by the lawyer. But yeah, I don't think he's going to walk free. But again, depending on what comes.
How much time do you see him doing? So I need you to get right to it. How much time?
I mean, all right, look. Let's say you do 7 years. Let's say you do that.
Okay.
That ain't nothing for the life that he lived.
Right. You're right.
That ain't nothing to trade. Like, you could give me $50 million. I'll do 5 years for $50 million and come out to that money. So, yeah, I don't think it's necessarily a stretch of the imagination to say, well, look, if I got to give him a couple years, I'll give him a couple years. I'd rather give him a couple years on this than give him a whole bunch of years on that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just a thought that I'm putting out there.
Well, stay with me, sir, because my kids, my children, they're not my biological, but they're saying that nigger's crazy. Keep him on the line, Dad. they say, Dad, keep that crazy nigger on the line. Now, hang on a second. I want to pour a little bit of my Merlot. I want you to keep talking. I want you to go deeper. Pause. Go a little deeper. Go ahead.
Okay, no Diddy. Okay, so look, we gonna go a little bit deeper there. All right.
Come on.
So now we try to take some. The Democratic Party is trying to take some attention off of those 2 assassination attempts on Trump, right? Okay. By taking that attention off them, that puts Kamala in a better light. How can we take attention off of Trump? Well, we're going to throw Diddy out there. They go to Diddy, say, yo, Diddy, we need some help. We need a distraction. We got you for 20. You give us a distraction. You give us the 5 to 7 instead of the 20 to life. You know what I'm saying? And you'll also be able to snitch on some other people and take them down. So, you know, just to bring the whole conspiracy loop and feed the trolls, you know, so it's a whole conspiracy stemming from the Democratic Party trying to create a distraction so that we're not focused on Kamala, the Trump assassination, and Kamala possibly deceiving us about her lineage.
How bad do you want to see Jay-Z, a.k.a. Jigga, a.k.a. Hove? How bad do you want to see him in the steel bracelets?
Oh, man, I'm going to tell you something, big nigga star. Well, I think one of the things that we want to see when this come out is that Foxy Brown.
No, sir, I said, how bad do you want to see it? You know, do you?
Do I want it? I don't want to. Listen, I'm not really with the destruction.
Sir, you're a Philly nigga. You're capping. Stop capping. You're a Philly nigga. Stop capping.
No, I ain't with that, man. I'm a father, man. I'm a black man. I work in the corporate world, and I believe that more black men that have a mentality where we can work together and get things done is in my best interest. Like I say, my objectively speaking, you know. So I'm
yeah, but Jay-Z's not black, you know, and Jay-Z wouldn't want you living next door to him if you're not in his tax bracket, right? Keep it real.
If I was in, but this is my point. This is my point. If it was more black men that wanted to see other black men succeed, then we could each get into that tax bracket, so that mentality wouldn't be there. That mentality.
No, so that wasn't the question. That wasn't the question, and you're giving a crazy.
Oh yeah. He won't want to see me. He won't want to see me there. No, definitely not. Definitely not. Not me and my no, man. No.
I have nowhere near the wealth of Jay-Z, and if I saw you around where I live in Emerald Isle and you weren't delivering a package, I would call the police on you too.
I mean, I make pretty good money, man. I might be able to live around there.
No, sir.
I do all right, my man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm doing fairly.
These homes start at 700,000 out here, sir. But please, slow down. Okay.
Listen. Oh no, I get it. That's out my bracket, but I'm still doing well. You know.
Yeah, you're in Philly, sir. More than likely, and I say this with all due respect, you live in a row house. Right?
I mean, I'm a single father. My daughter got a.
Sir, you live in a row house. You don't even have a backyard.
Yeah.
Right? You got a driveway. You got a driveway, but you live in a row house.
Right. Yeah. I live in a row house, but like I say, I'm doing pretty well. My daughter has a 529. She has a UTMA. Well, she has two 529s.
God bless her.
She has an UTMA account. She's in fencing. She's in martial arts.
Oh.
We go to Florida every year. She's in private school.
Nice.
So, you know, she also has a.
Is she in private school or Catholic school? There is a difference, sir.
She was in Catholic school. She's now in private school. She's now in a friend's school. All right. So I don't want to say which school, but she's in a friend's school.
Okay.
And again, I tell my daughter all the time. I say, listen, you're upper middle class. I'm lower middle class.
I appreciate the call, sir. I appreciate your input. Thank you so much.
All right, you take it easy.
Yes, sir. Okay. No, folks. Let's get focused here tonight. Wicked Hebrew. Good to hear from you, sir. I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. Deeds, is Deeds still awake? It might be kind of past Deeds' bedtime. Folks, we need you to hit the like and the share tab. Thank you so much. I enjoy doing these late night shows, you know. Today I was in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I took a helicopter ride with a female. Had a nice time. And then I had to go to North Myrtle Beach. I went to look at a condo, you know, I've spoken about this before. Some of the HOA fees in Myrtle Beach are a little too pricey, but in North Myrtle Beach, they've got some nice condos. You know, I'm just thinking. I'm not certain, but you know, took a nice helicopter ride today. Hey, Shanice. Oh, you and I hung out when? Okay, she says, Star, you and I hung out once upon a time. Did you film me? What do you mean, did I film you? Did I record the audio of you? Yeah, any female that I've had phone conversations with for over 20 years, those calls were recorded. Yes, text messages were saved. I have your information. I have to cover myself. I learned back in the 80s. You know, I'm not going to go into details. It's just to protect myself. I was doing that before they started, saying with that thing, this call is being recorded for quality assurance. I've been doing that. But thank you, darling. You were a wonderful person. Okay, Wicked Hebrew says Cam and Mace low-key been frying Diddy on the show. Yeah, I would imagine so. The other caller said they haven't been talking about him. Mace has been kicking Diddy's back in. And Cam is not afraid to approach any topic. That's what just one of the things I really like about Cam. Great guy. Great guy. Hold on a second, guys. Folks, if you're in the queue waiting to get on the line, I would appreciate if you would hit the like and share tab. Okay, if you're waiting for me to pick up a call, that's all I ask. I don't charge people to call in. If you want to make a donation, that's fine. Area code 646. Are you there? Late night. Talking about the diddler. He's going to snitch. 6.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, Star. How are you?
Hey, baby. How are you? Nice to hear from you. Where do you want to start?
Well, I wanted to discuss some of the females that disappeared during that time, like Maya and A. Marie.
Right.
Do you think that they got kicked out because they didn't participate in the Diddy's parties?
What do you mean kicked out? Kicked out of what?
Well, they were like on top of the game as far as, singing and stuff. And all of a sudden they just disappeared, like Maya she was on top of, all the videos and stuff. And you just never heard about her anymore. And the same thing with A. Marie. And, you see some YouTube videos where they're talking about how, they were kind of like pushed out.
Do you want my opinion? My opinion?
Yeah. Yes.
Maya, who I interviewed once upon a time, I think it was 2001. And I like her as an artist. And when she came on the show, I said, "Hey, are you hating on anybody?" And she said, "You." I never held that against her. I never held that against her because she's about her business. Maya has had a lengthy career. She's a great singer. I think she has always made good choices. And with regards to A. Marie, she came on the show. Very nice girl. A. Marie, she does something on YouTube. She's a reader. She reads a lot of books, and she has a channel. Last I heard that was popping a couple of years ago on her page. She reads books, reviews books. But let me just say this with regards to this disgusting industry. It's disgusting. A lot of people experience early success. And everybody doesn't want to play the game. Sometimes you go on one tour and you say, I don't want to do this for the next 15, 20 years of my life. And I'm okay. I don't need another big hit. I don't need to keep going to these parties. And I respect that. I respect that. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Yes. I remember when you was at the sloppy station. And you always kept it real, and you've always maintained, and I love that about you.
Well, the
keep it real.
The sloppy station, Hot 97. I never was on their street team. I was never anybody's intern. Nobody got me. Nobody got me in there. So I looked at it differently. It was just a business move. We were on MTV, starring Buck Wild, for those who care. In late 1998 and then 1999, and I was a writer, research person of sorts. I got myself in there, and when we got our option picked up for another 6 months on MTV, I actually told the program director, "Hey, I'm going to be moving on. This is not what I want to do. Hip hop radio." She then said, "No, why don't we try, putting you guys on for a month?" Sunday nights, we came on after Stretch and Bobbito, but that was just a test show, And then they did another test show for a month from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. But the Star and Buck Wild show, and again, I keep dates and everything, launched in March of 2000. But my point for saying all that is radio is not what I aspired to do. So a lot of the artists that you referenced, sometimes they have a little success and they say, this is not what I want to do. Maya and A. Marie. But go ahead.
But it's just, it's just concerning that people disregard the fact that, some of those women went up there, to have a good time. And like you said, they were being drugged, unaware, and put in different situations that, could have ruined their life. I saw the other young lady that just recently came out to, with Gloria Oliver, that she was on the news conference.
Right.
And that was it was horrendous to hear her story, and I believe her. I mean, it's.
But let me also say this. Let me also say this. Now a lot of females were with the bullshit. Oh yeah.
Absolutely no. I get that. I get that.
I hate to talk about cocaine. That's such a dirty, disgusting drug. I mean, I talk about it sometimes. I try to make it funny, but in reality, it's one of the dirtiest drugs in the history of mankind. A lot of those women, I'm not going to say names, who hung out with Russell Simmons, they were smoking cocaine, crack, if you will.
Yes.
Russell was smoking PCP, smoking that shit, and a lot of those females who were trying to get into the music business, they were willing participants. And then you had, Diddy and these guys. I mean, I can't say exactly what he was doing, but a lot of those females were into E back in the days. Remember in the late 90s? Ecstasy.
Those clubs. Yep. In the bathroom, they would be offering you all kinds of shit.
Oh, my God. Do you remember that song with Ja Rule when he said, I keep them drugged up on that ecstasy?
Yeah. And everyone knew. I was so glad that, I like I said, I went, I grew up in the culture, and I went to those parties, and for some reason, I always maintained myself and watched and just observed. Although I was having a good time, I made sure that I didn't take things from people. When I was offered stuff, I said, "No, I'm good. I just had some," trying to keep myself, safe, because you want to have a good time, but you want to get home. And some of those people, they didn't. When they got home, they had horror stories.
Yeah.
And, I'm just so glad that my mother was the way she was, strict with me. I couldn't sleep out. And our friends, we had a group thing. We would go out together. We all came home together.
Good for you.
But that's what kept us safe.
I hung out with low-life pieces of shit, scum, degenerates. and you know what? You know what? Most of that scum and those coke dealing slurs and whores that was in the 80s. It wasn't like later on in the 90s, because when 1991 came around, my body said, "Hey, we've had enough. We're sick and tired of being sick and tired." But gotta finish up, baby. Anything you want to mention about Mayor Adams or Diddy before you go?
Oh yes, my boss. Yes. He's well, he was hanging out in Dykeman bars, and
who, the mayor?
Himself.
The mayor?
Yeah, he was hanging out tough uptown. Oh yeah, he was loving the Dominicans up there and flossing, and yeah. So that might have given him a little bit too much exposure. Yeah, he was loving it up there, the Dykeman bars with the hookah bars and all that.
Man, so, oh my goodness, yeah.
He's hot. Yeah, he even took a couple of trips down there. So maybe that's what started it.
Yeah,
he's been doing it when he was campaigning.
I used to hang at a bar back in the 80s in Dykeman, right up under the train tracks, right?
Yes. Mama Juana.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. That's right.
I appreciate the call, baby. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care. Good night.
Bye now. All right. Okay, guys, I need you to be ready on the phones here. I'm coming to the phone lines. Area code 201. Late night, we're talking about the dealer. He's going to tell. He's going to snitch.
What's good, beloved? What's good? It's the Dirty Jersey Schizo. You heard? What's happening?
Peace, beloved. Peace, beloved. What's going on?
Know the vibes, my dude. Hey, yo, son, I got so much to tell you. Oh, my God. Are you ready, brother? I've been taking notes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, hang on now. Slow down. I don't do the son, and I don't do brother. You can do beloved. Okay, but fix the noise in the background.
As long as I don't say brother. I know the vibe, twin. I know the routine, beloved.
Fix the audio. In the audio, you got noise in the background. Can you make the adjustments, please?
Oh, yeah. Pardon me, twin.
Give me a second, folks.
So, yo, bust it. I got so much to tell you, bro. Like, this is crazy. You ready for me, twin?
Let's go.
And you know I talk twin because I'm from that terror squad era. You
I know, I got you. I picked up on it. Come on.
I say that. All right, so bust it. Hey, yo, I heard I got the inside scoop, bro. That the baby oil wasn't baby oil. It was
liquid cocaine. Liquid cocaine.
Ay, Dios mío, papi. Que la vaina que te hace, que tú quieres que tú pica su colita, mamacita, mamá rica. You already know you want to talk about Dykeman? Let's talk about Dykeman, baby. Let's talk about Vermilion. Let's talk about Nago. Let's talk about Academy and Post. Let's go, baby. Dirty Jersey Schizo, you already know. So bust it. Hey, yo, the mayor corruption connection is crazy.
Yeah.
That's why they coming down on Diddy. Gene Dill spit it. He was like, yo, if you really think about it, they coming down on Twin so that he can rat on all of them because they gave him the key to the city. Now they all resigning. Like, bro, that's crazy, bro.
He's going to rat.
And here's the thing. Hey, what about the Boulay stripper? What about the stripper that said that Diddy's a part of the Boulay?
Yeah.
He was a male stripper. I think he was a Brazilian or Dominican. His name was Adi. How appropriate. Adi.
Jonathan Adi.
Yeah, odd one.
Jonathan Adi.
Yeah, odd one. There's a lot of names like Madoff and what was the other one? Winkler. What was the New York dude? The Wiener. You feel me? Like, so bust it, bro. That connection is already insane, and that right there tells you. Now I heard that Diddy was trying to come to Jersey to Essex County. He was trying to get transferred.
I don't think I don't think that's a good move. If they send him there,
that's a green monster. You don't want to come to Essex County, bro. Like, you better off in Brooklyn, bro.
That's what I was saying. Essex.
You a Jersey boy. You know the vibes, baby. You know how we get down.
Essex County. Somebody will poke him for sure.
bro, with a piece of the broken fence.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
Straight jacket. So, Buster, let's talk about the Boulay stripper. He crazy. Now, that was insane because he just got popped for shooting up Trump hotel.
Right.
And he was there looking crazy, bro. Bald, eyes all bulged out, geeked out his face. And he was like, what about the Diddy parties? He's like, I rock with Diddy. I hang with Khaled and Rick Ross. They all gay. Won't. And they was like, yeah, we don't care about that. Let's talk about something else.
He said, I'm not interested in Diddy. That was in 2018. Go ahead.
Trying to tell you, twin, it's Dirty Jersey Schizo, man. La schizofrenico, pasito poco perico, tu sabes. And I want to also talk about what you said before, the Black and Brown Coalition. Come on, son, don't do that,
That's
bro.
Bullshit.
Don't do that, OG. Don't do that, OG. Don't do that, OG. Don't do that. Don't talk that smack, OG. Because you know the Boricuas in New York. Light skinned as we is, we all black, baby. You don't believe me? Ask the judge of the police, man. They lock us all up. You heard?
Can I ask how old are you? How old are you?
44.
Okay.
1980.
Okay. Hang on.
You know where I'm from, baby. My father was king.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Pardon me, twin. Go ahead.
I went to G-Dub, George Washington, class of '82. I had to be high back in those days. They thought I was Dominican. It was all Dominicans in high school. All Dominicans.
You could totally pass for a Dominican. You're like,
we used to do vamps up in Van Cortlandt Park. Remember Van Cortlandt Park?
Van Cortlandt, gangster, BX, big BX.
Okay. Now, Back in those days, I don't know about now. The Dominicans I roll with, the Puerto Ricans and the Colombians, they didn't fuck with niggas, man. They didn't fuck with niggas.
You out of your mind, because I'm gonna tell you why. And I mean it with all respect.
No, sir. I'm telling you, they didn't fuck with niggas.
Nah, I was there too.
Not in G-Dub in 1982.
You wrong.
Okay.
You wrong, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Go ahead.
Because how many Puerto Ricans was at the 5% meetings? Hold that one.
They were half black.
How many Puerto Ricans?
They were half black. No.
No. We're sub-Saharan African. We're sub-Saharan African.
I let you speak. Slow down. Don't just.
I
let you speak. Slow down.
My fault. Well, go ahead, beloved. My fault.
If you were full Puerto Rican, you were with the Latin Kings. If you were half,
my father's king.
Okay.
My father's king.
Okay.
My father faked his death.
Okay, that's another,
I didn't know
that's another story. But now,
till I was 40.
Okay, if you were half and half, then yeah, you could roll with the nation of gods and earths. But
nah,
finish
you
up.
Bugging.
Okay, I'm bugging. Go ahead.
They let us all in, bro. They let us all in because we sub-Saharan Africans. See, here's the thing. Dominicans like to be like, no papi, I know black. Puerto Ricans like to be like, no papi, we rep our Africa. As light-skinned as we is, we rep our Africa. Real talk. That's why we dominate reggaeton. Tu sabes. So anyway, old boy was talking about the federal trial can't be on camera. Why is YSL? Oh, excuse me. I don't mean to curse. I don't want to mess with the algorithm. Why is YSL federal trial on camera? All right, so that's null and void. Right. Feel me? Then Twin was talking about.
Good point.
He said he'd do 5 for 50 million. You do 5 years for 50 million. Dude, I do 50 years for 5 million. Are you crazy? Who wouldn't? That's that goofy shit, man. Damn, pardon me. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep respectful for the OG because I respect you, bro. Dirty
thank you, man.
Bro.
Thank you.
Hey, never let her see you orgasm, girl.
Oh, okay.
Never.
Now, hang on a second. Is your father okay? You said your father faked his death. Is he all right?
He's a maniac, bro.
Okay. He's still alive, though. He's still alive?
Still alive. He almost lost his arm to gangrene.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I'm a product of those times. You feel me?
Hey, man, listen, I got to take other calls, man. I appreciate you, beloved.
No question.
I appreciate you, man.
Schizo, Dirty Jersey, beloved.
That's
much love to you and yours.
Salute. Okay, streets got no love, but, you know. Hang on a second, guys. Hold on, everybody. I'm checking something here. That guy made a good point. The YSL case is area code 216 late night. The diddler. He's telling, and also Eric Adams, mayor of New York, do you give a damn? 216. Yes. No.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. First off, that YSL case is a state RICO case. Homeboy had no idea what he's talking about. No disrespect to dude, because I don't know him.
Okay.
But Georgia has a state RICO case. There's like 5 different states in the U.S. that has that.
Okay.
Where they've been trying to implement that lately as far as like trying to quell the gang situation. Is no different than the gang injunctions in like Los Angeles or whatever, where 2 gang members, they might not even be talking about some gang stuff, but if they're both wearing white tees, they can say, oh, it's a conspiracy.
Okay.
Same thing, just because they want to hit you with a blanket indictment. That's what that was. So, yeah, dude was completely wrong, and okay. I bet everything on that. But, yeah, I think they don't need Diddy. Like, they're not really after Diddy. They want Diddy to corroborate the information that they already have because they know everything. They confiscated what, 3 or 4 like tetrabytes or terabytes, whatever it is, worth of information just from his computers when they raided his houses.
Right.
But also he put up not all, but a lot of his properties for sale, right?
Yeah.
So if he liquidates those assets, then now you can't confiscate it from him. So he'll be able to put that in whatever accounts and all of this so that he'll be able to pay for his legal defense. But they're not really after him. Because if you freeze his assets, but he's already transferred the assets, what good does it do? Not saying that he wasn't wrong in whatever he did. I don't know like the full ins and outs of the case.
Unless they go after the assets and they determine that the transfer was illegal, and the transfer was made with the intent to be non-truthful. I'm just throwing one word out there for right now. Non-truthful. Yeah.
For sure.
Go ahead. You saying? Go ahead.
Oh no! I was agreeing with you. I was letting you cook.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but sometimes when you file certain, when you make certain filings and you have a trustee, and the trustee is going over things, and they say, okay, well, Mr. Train, why haven't you made any money as an individual since 2001?
Right.
I say, well, I haven't had a job since 2001. I have nothing. I have nothing. But the trustee can search, and if you have, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, if I, as an individual, had a job in 2010 as an individual, and then I acquired, let's say, $400,000, over a 1 year period. And then my spending showed that I purchased a home in Edison, New Jersey. And then I get by way of the IRS, they search and they say, well, what happened to the home that you purchased? And I said, well, I gave it away. I sold it. If I get audited, that's the word, audit. If I get audited, I said, well, I gave it away. What do you mean you gave away a $400,000 home? No. They can then, possibly with the assistance of whatever agency is or suing me or individual, they can possibly try to seek that home. Go ahead.
Right. But I feel like he's in a situation where I feel like he knew way before this Cassie situation that something was coming down the pipeline. Like, even if you look at his movements after that, him moving back to New York, knowing that his federal case was going to be handled in New York, he knew it was coming. So he's like, all right, well, let me make this easy so it doesn't look like I'm trying to run. And they picked him up. I believe it was the day before that he was supposed to turn himself in, and he just had like a room full of drugs and whatnot. And it's like, we got you again. Because when they're building the federal case, or when they're building like a longer seeking, when they're building a bigger case than just some random, we caught you with a whole bunch of drugs and stuff like that, they'll let you get away with the smaller stuff. But the whole time they've been monitoring everything, money coming in, money going out, the way that you move and things like that. And if you switch up from your normal pattern of actions, then they're going to use that as evidence.
Stay with me. You said something that is key, sir, and I want you to cook on this. You said the normal pattern of actions, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember when Diddy opened the restaurant Justin's?
Yes, I do.
He put it in his son's name, or whoever, maybe whatever.
That's his son's name.
Yeah, he may have put it in his son's name, and I forget her name. Is it Misa? I forget. And
Misa Hilton.
Right. So he started a pattern of putting things in other people's names. He could say, well, listen, I had to do that because I'm not good with money. Therefore, any type of investigation that comes down, he can say, I'm not good with money. I overspend. So that's why my pattern over the years has been to, help others. I'm just, I'm just the working man. Good.
Yeah, you insulate yourself from certain things. Like, the only company outside of Bad Boy that was initially in his name was Sean John, because that's literally his first two names and whatnot. Right. But,
Everything else has always been in other people's names. His properties were in other people's names, allegedly. I don't want to, I'm not trying to convict this man in the court of public opinion, which I feel like is what they've been trying to do, because ever since the OJ case, like OJ, at least as far as I can remember back, mind you, I'm 38. Yeah, I'm 38.
Okay.
So I only remember going back to that. So everything else, like they've been painting all of these guys in the court of public opinion as guilty once they realize that their system worked.
Right.
And then they're like, oh, snap, like we can do this to any of these guys, so that there's like, you're supposed to get an unbiased jury of your peers. But if before I get sequestered to be part of a jury and whatnot, 6 months prior, everything I see on the news is about this person being this demon and this, that, and the third. Not saying he's guilty by any means of imagination and whatnot, but if I already have this image of you in my head, it's easier for me to convict you. You look at the Rayful situation with what's his name, Rayful and
Rayful Edmond
back in DC. Yeah, back in DC. They were the first ones that had like the jury where they had an anonymous jury that had them through like an inch of bulletproof glass. So if you're a juror and they're telling you, yo, we have to fly these guys in from a private like prison island on a helicopter every day, you already have an image in your mind of them being like super dangerous criminals, because this is the first time in history that had happened. So you look at the way that they paint these guys over and over again, especially by Diddy being a public figure for over 30 years. Once again, not claiming these idiots innocent, because I'm sure like dude's probably done some wild shit, but most of these people were consenting adults, at least to my knowledge. Like, yo, if he was averaging...
Let me jump in here, sir. I'm going to let you finish up and just try to watch the language. That's all I ask.
Pardon me. My fault.
Do you think that Diddler, he knew it would all come crashing down at some point? He's a reader.
Of course.
Hang on. He's a reader like myself. He's a reader. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I used to read a lot of, well, I still do, sci-fi books. And Philip K. Dick wrote about what we're going through now, back in the 70s and the 80s. Do you think Diddy knew at some point it's going to come crashing down? And he hang on.
Oh.
Do you think he has prepared himself for this day? He ain't scared. He knows what to do. And that's why he was recording everybody. And y'all just little niggas. Ain't nobody scared of jail. I know what to do. I got stuff put away. I got stuff stored. I'm gonna go do a little time, but I saw this day come. Do you think that's plausible?
I'm not going to say he's not scared. I think he's uncomfortable, because anybody that hasn't done, like, imagine going from, having mansions and guest houses that are bigger than most people's houses to sitting in a 6x10. Yeah, you're going to be a little bit uncomfortable, because you don't necessarily know what's coming at you as far as what the sentence is going to be. Because do I think Diddy could do 10, 15 and be cool? Yeah, he'll be cool. But if they hit him with the life count, I think then he'll start telling more information than they already know. I think he's going to try to bullshit them, because Diddy thinks by him having...
Gotta watch the language, please.
My language, sorry.
Please, go ahead.
I think by him amassing the fortune that he's amassed, he assumes that he's smarter than everybody else in the room.
There you go, yeah.
And I think that might be his downfall if he chooses not to listen to his lawyers. But I think they're going to try to milk him for as much as they can get out of it. But that's part of the game.
Okay.
Like the smartest people in the game are the lawyers, because they get all of the money. They do none of the jail time unless they get involved in some corrupt activity.
I don't know about that, sir. I don't know about that, but I hear you. But
not smartest as far like they play the game the smartest. I'm not going to say that they're the smartest, but they have the most longevity in any of this.
All right. I got to take the call, sir. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, guys, I was very busy today. The long drive down to Myrtle Beach. Oh my goodness, I got up early. So I'm behind in emails. A lot of things have been going on today. I'm not up to speed with. I didn't get a chance to really do too much. If there's any issues with anything, contact Amy with regards to if anybody got copyright strikes or just stuff like that. Just attention, Amy. She's back on her grind. She handles all that stuff. I don't deal with that. She's got power of attorney. I just had to say that, okay? 215, good evening. We're talking about a few topics. Are you there? Late night.
Yes, I'm here.
Hey,
I'm calling again.
Did I speak to you earlier? I spoke to you earlier?
No. You spoke to me another time. I'm the one who told you about the Ramsey Hunt disease with Justin Bieber.
Oh, okay.
But I just want to speak on this. I'm going to be quick.
Come on.
I think he's going to sing. I think he's going to start singing like a bird. And I hope he does. And I want everybody to go down. Jay-Z. And you know what? I'm not even going to say the rappers. I think he going to start singing on some politicians if he don't want to see a lot of time.
Can you turn down whatever you have in the background because it's echoing through your headset or something? I want to hear what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, it's already been confirmed that he's going to talk. I mean, multiple sources here that I've already given out in the beginning of the show. He told his lawyer, "I'm going to testify." So it's not a question of will he or will he not. This is a fact. He's going to testify on his behalf. So you want to see people go down? Give us some names. Don't be chicken shit. Come on, give us some names.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he can implement the Obamas. I don't know. Somebody. I don't know. Whoever. I mean, I did see something where if your girl, of course I'm gonna reference her because Naomi Campbell, she might be mentioned in this situation some kind of way. But I remember seeing something where an African girl came out and said something.
Give us a name.
Hello?
Yeah, give us a name, baby. Come on, we want names.
Oh, it was an African girl. She came out and said that Naomi Campbell, I think she was like trying to model and stuff, and Naomi Campbell was supposed to have been like her mentor or something, and trying to get her in the business.
You don't have a name, baby. If you don't have a name, keep.
No,
who else?
No, I don't know name, but she mentioned that.
What about TD Jakes, baby? TD Jakes, come on.
Well, yeah, I mean, we all know about TD Jakes. These are people we know already.
Well, we don't know what's real. I mean, we're just guessing. Do you want to see TD Jakes go down? See him go down.
I do. I want to see the power bottom go down. I do. Okay. I don't know why I don't like him. I mean, when he was on the stage twerking, it just did something to my soul.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see everybody go down, to be honest with you. I mean, I could start naming rappers and stuff, but I mean, we all know about that stuff. Like, we already heard those names. I want to see and hear about people I've never heard of before.
Right.
And I think that's the only way that he's, they want to like be easy on him if he start naming names like real names and other type of connections. I mean, not just these rappers, I don't know.
What about Trey Songz?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like those, that's like.
I heard he be giving bitches uppercuts. Trey Songz.
Yeah. I mean, I heard that too. Like,
what about Michael Eric Dyson?
Oh, I didn't think of him.
Well, put on your thinking cap, goddamn. It's late night.
I mean,
all you're doing is just fumbling and stumbling. Give us some names. We gotta get you out of here, baby. I'm trying to be nice. Give us some names. Man,
darn. I have to go back and look at those parties that he
What
had.
about Nori from Drink Champs? Oh, he's real weird sometimes. Good guy, never did nothing disrespectful to me. What about Nori sitting there? He refuses to interview this person, that person, you know.
Well, yeah, that's because he's
hating on Cuban Link. What about Nori?
I've been thought about Nori. I was looking at
baby,
Nori.
I gotta go. You're killing the vibe. Thank you, baby. Let's get her out of here. See, anybody can get banged on. You're killing the vibe. Stumbling, fumbling. Shit. There you are, Gene Richmond. Thank you for calling back, sir. I'm busy. I'm popping, as you know. It's cracking, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what it is. You're popping.
Popping.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
So
I have to hear all the lawyers and the legal advisors call your show and give their opinions on what they do and what RICO laws are in effect and state and what's going to be aired on TV, what won't be aired on TV. Is this the Star Report or is this Court TV? I don't know.
Well, now hang on a second. Hang on a second. You know, you were supposed to be doing this with the Freedom Hour. You were supposed to be doing this,
right? Well, I'm not a legal expert. Well, I'm not a legal expert.
Nor am I. But I mean, this is your lane of sorts, and we, I've talked about this. But okay, so you've chimed in. Where do you want to start, sir? You have the floor.
Well, before I say anything. 66-year-old Madonna is sleeping with a 28-year-old boy. I just wanted to put that out there. Now let's go back to the topic. Could you believe that?
Yeah, I can.
66-year-old. 66-year-old Madonna is screwing a 28-year-old boy.
She's an old freak.
Now,
old freak.
I mean, there's something good underneath that caboose because 28 years old. Jesus Christ.
Okay. That's a man. It's not a boy. That's a man. It's a man. Now, listen, I need,
well, yeah.
Hold on. Listen, number 9, I need you here. Okay, the mayor of New York City, he's defiant. He's not stepping down. AOC has asked for his resignation now, right?
Well, yeah,
have you seen the indictment? It's in my community section. If you haven't, just say no, but have you seen the indictment? Eric Adams.
I've seen the indictment. I actually watched it earlier today, late breaking news on the media networks. It was all over the news, MSNBC, Fox, ABC, CNN, the press conference, which I saw bits and pieces of it. And, we caught the indictment was unsealed, and it's a massive federal corruption charge, kickbacks, bribes, received funds from foreign dignitaries, i.e. Turkey, and things of that nature. So it doesn't surprise me. I hear people talking about, they're saying, well, he was on board with bringing in millions of illegal aliens into New York, but now he spoke out against it and the establishment turned on him. Well, I kind of don't see it that way. I mean, he was playing ball the whole time. I think he was just again, New York is flooded with illegal aliens because of Eric Adams. So whether he had a change of heart means nothing. He destroyed New York City within the last 2 years with flooding of illegal aliens and also petitioning to fund these illegal aliens in regards to health benefits, in regard to housing, in regards to work programs and things of that nature. So I don't believe this whole federal deep state government turned on him because he had a change of heart. I think this man has always been a very shady character in regards to the New York political scene while he was with law enforcement, while he was on various boards. He's always had a history of underlying corrupt behavior and investigation. So this is not.
Let me jump in there for a second. The complaint that we just mentioned, it starts out the overview. In 2014, Eric Adams, the defendant, became Brooklyn Borough president. Thereafter, for nearly a decade, Adams sought and accepted improper valuable benefits. So they were watching him since 2014. Do you think that they actually, the powers that be that helped him get in there, they were also aware of his being monitored? Politics is the dirtiest game. And somehow, somewhere, he just got sloppy. Okay, the migrants is one thing, but he appears to be having done the most with this whole Turkish influence and just sloppy. He got sloppy, if you ask me. And the oh my goodness, the press conference was embarrassing. He's there with some woman who's got on a church hat. She looked like Shirley Caesar. He's got some old nigga playing with the phone, and nobody.
Did you see that old FDA nigga with the kente garb?
Easy.
Did you see that old FDA? He couldn't even hold his head up. That old FDA. It was
hang on, Tether. You said that 3 times. Hold on, Tether. So now, do you think that he just got sloppy? They've been monitoring him since 2014. Please speak to that.
Well, of course he did. There's no way you can be under an investigative probe for about a decade now. It's 2024. He becomes mayor. You got to understand that this was a favor done for him, because Eric Adams has been doing favors. And once you stop doing favors, they turn on you. This is American politics, and New York City is one of the biggest cities in the world. And Eric Adams knew how to play ball, whether you like him or not.
Right.
He was part of he's not the only one that gets their hands greased and they look the other way in regards to kickbacks, in regards to gifts, in regards to inappropriate spending of funds for campaigns and things of that nature. He's not the first in New York. He won't be the last. I mean, they even looked at Bill de Blasio, the mayor prior to Eric Adams at one point. But de Blasio was smart. He had a good legal counsel. But again, I think Eric Adams, like you said, got sloppy. He stopped playing the game the way the game was supposed to be played, the way he's been playing it.
I just want to say this.
You know what?
Sorry. I just want to say this, and I'll let you finish up. And I also want you to speak to the Diddy, title before you go. This is a historic indictment for anybody who doesn't know. In modern times, this is the first mayor to be indicted, right?
On federal charges. He is the 110th. He is the 110th mayor of New York City, and the first to be under a federal charge on indictment of corruption charges. The very first. I mean, you've had Ed Koch, who was under scandal back in the late 80s. You had David Dinkins that had issues with the unions, and there were some corruption issues there.
Giuliani.
It was underlying.
Giuliani.
What's that?
Giuliani.
Yeah, there you go. Giuliani. Oh, how can we forget about them? But on this magnitude, nothing's been seen like this, because again, like you said, this guy has had a history of being looked at. He's been playing the game, but again, he got sloppy and he got too full of himself, I believe.
Too old not to know better. I need you to finish up, man, because I do want to take my break here. Diddy wants to testify and tell on everybody at his trial. Your thoughts, sir. Number 9, before you go.
Well, I think Diddy should testify. I believe that Sean Combs has a lot to say. You know, he's now the new scapegoat. He's the new scapegoat in this American lexicon of criminality. They're trying to bring, some of the most powerful men down, and he's on the chopping block. And I think he should testify. He should speak. Again, it's innocent until proven guilty. He is an innocent man, and he is going to fight these charges, and he is going to appeal to the government and prove his innocence. That's the job. He has a very
he has a very powerful and competent legal team, the Garagos family, Mark Garagos, his daughter, and that whole legal team that is behind him. So he has a very unique and powerful legal team. And people say, "Oh, well, it's like R. Kelly." Well, it's not like R. Kelly because R. Kelly didn't have the best lawyers money could buy.
No.
Diddy does.
Right.
So,
do you think he'll make it to the stand?
I think he will. Because a man with that kind of ego is driven to live and because a guy like that wants to talk. It's always been about him. A guy like that with that kind of ego, with that kind of power complex, there's no way he's gonna go out without telling his side of the story. There's no way.
2:00 in the morning, a little sherm or a tranny nigga with a lace front comes into his cell to serve him, and then all of a sudden he starts getting stabbed with a ice pick. You might not make it.
to come give him booty. to come serve him up those juicy booty cheeks.
A little Puerto Rican tranny who looks like J-Lo back in her prime.
right. But it's tempting. It's tempting, though. Don't you think? It's tempting. I'd be tempted too.
Not for me, but
you'd be tempted. We'd all be tempted.
No, sir.
You'd be.
I gotta go, man. Great to talk to you, number 9. Thank you, man.
No, one more thing. Those FBAs that were with.
Okay, thank you, man.
Mayor Adams.
Let's talk later, man.
Hey, look.
Gene Richmond. Star Report back in the building. Okay, it is Friday morning, late night. Okay, and we're going to continue the discussion here with regards to Diddy. According to multiple sources, CNN, TMZ, MSNBC, and others, Fox News, ABC, NBC, CBS, Diddy wants to testify. He wants to talk. He wants to tell his side of the story, Oh, man. Take a little sip of wine here. How many days of testimony would that be? Of course, they would have to ask him about willing participants. Did anybody else partake in the freak-offs / orgies? Well, we want to see that. We want to eat, content-wise. Schwick, I got your other donation. He says, keep going, old nigga. All right, thank you, man, for your support. Schwick, okay. Let me check PayPal here. Top of the live chat is the PayPal and Streamlabs link if you guys want to support this show, okay? I enjoy doing the late night shows. We started doing them about a week or so ago. And it allows me to handle more business in the daytime. I don't have to rush back home and all that sort of jazz. Let me go to area code 586. Hey, good morning. Are you there? 586.
Star.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Yeah, about 3 years ago.
So we cannot hear you. It's very loud. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
It's a little better. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
It's a little better, sir. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, about 3 years ago, P. Diddy did an interview with Charlemagne talking about starting a black political party.
Yeah.
He spoke.
We saw that.
Yeah, he made a lot. Yeah, he made a lot of points about how black people don't have a political identity. We're not Democrats nor Republicans. And he also, he went on to talk about how he was willing to fund, or he was planning on funding young black politicians. Using his billionaire spending power to, become like what do they call those political things? Well, whatever, a sponsor, right?
Okay.
So could this be the reason that he's now being targeted during the election time? And could
No, sir.
Eric Adams also be tied into this?
No, sir. No.
Well, why not?
We touched on this in the first 40 minutes of the show. White people are not worried about. Hang on, I'm responding to what you said, sir. White people, or the powers that be, or the dominant society, are not worried about a freak nigger, Diddy, and a alleged rapist, Leonard McKelvey, of starting a political party, sir. Not at all.
Okay, true that. True indeed. However, but I don't think it's about him personally. It's more so the fact that he has the spending power, $1 billion behind him, and I don't think him nor Charlemagne would have anything to do with being not front. It would be what he said, young black politicians.
Right.
So I think that's a threat to America and the establishment and the society.
Okay.
And that seems like
black people separating. Separating. Sir, it's very noisy in the background. I'm trying to let you talk, but it's very noisy. Let's finish up. You're saying black people separating and doing their own thing. That's a threat to American society. Okay, his phone dropped out. I didn't hang up on him. Okay.
Oh no, I'm here.
Okay, you're saying that's a threat. Come on. Don't kill the vibe.
Yeah. That's a threat to the dominant society, man. Come on.
You're high, sir. Thank you. Good night. You're high. You're high, sir. Yeah. Black people don't have unity like that. Thank you, sir. You're high. Let him speak. His phone's dropping out. He's on the graveyard shift. What the fuck? 313. Good morning. Good morning.
Top of the morning, Star. I got a theory, man.
Yes, sir. Let me hear your theory.
Respect my theory. I don't think Puffy in jail.
Uh-oh. I like where you're going. Let's go.
Puffy ain't in jail. When you got that much money, you don't go to jail. You they kill you off. You're dead, man. Go away. Just like Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay.
You didn't see no jail footage or nothing. No blurred out. No nothing. And his cameras all in that jail. Puffy you ain't about to see no footage. You ain't about to hear about no names. None of that. Puffy ain't finna testify. None of that. This finna go away in the strangest way you can possibly imagine. Puffy, because this is sicking these kids, man. If that evidence come out and they had to present it, which you ain't gonna see it because it's in federal court. They don't allow cameras in there. You're gonna get straight pastel pictures and all rumors. That's why I go to the feds. They corrupt, Star. They could paint this picture any way they want to paint it. You know, not to switch gears, but at Epstein Island, you had the cable guys and people who was wiring up his house, and they seen little girls riding by on four-wheelers. Looked like they was 12. Mm-hmm. You ain't seen none of that. You ain't finna see Puffy, just to let y'all know, it won't be a trial. You won't hear nothing about nobody who was in that place. When the smoke clears, Puffy gonna be gone. You ain't gonna hear nothing about nothing. That's the end of that. When you got that much money, they bleed you dry and tell you to go away.
Can you tell us? Over. Can you tell us where he is, sir? The diddler.
Oh, Puffy somewhere. Oh, he can't be seen. He done. When he went in that, they know he was in that hotel. You see the way the feds came and got him. They barely grabbed him. You do all that to people, man. According to them reports, and you walk him out like that. They say ain't nobody above the law, but the way they walked him out was like they respect.
You think he's on the Canary Islands right now, or one of the keys in Florida? What do you think?
Man, yes, he's on the island of his choice. They told him pick one. They're gonna paint this picture whatever way they want to paint it.
Okay.
That's why they took it to federal court. And oh yeah, that's the point I was gonna say. You know how they kept saying, okay, Puffy went back to New York to turn himself in? No, he made sure that the feds handled that case. He knew who was handling that case. He knew the judges, everything. See, when you got money like that, you get tipped off about that. You get what I'm saying? You get called into an office and they tell you, be a guy talking to you, look, this is what's going to happen, blah, 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 blah. You go to that hotel, we coming to get you, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. You're not in jail, man. All that protection and all that, you know, you could paint the picture, Puffy fearing for his life, you know. It's the same thing like Star. If I told you I'm going back.
Hang on a second. So what is the point in creating this whole diversion with regards to Diddy?
It's not really. I mean, because the public, they don't want to see these kids in the public. Puffy was a public figure.
The black kids? Which kids, sir? Which kids?
Hold on, say that again.
Which kids? You said the kids.
No, I'm just saying, as far as all the fans he had over the years, they were kids. They're grown now.
Right.
So any of that,
sir, I get all that, but I'm saying, what interest would it serve the powers that be to hide Diddy at this point? What interest would that serve?
he's gonna reveal a lot of people. A lot of companies gonna go down.
Okay.
A lot of money could be lost in this.
Okay.
A lot of people. Martha Stewart was probably over there. It's people who've been taped don't even know they've been taped, but they can't call Puff. You're like, hey, Puff, you got me on tape? It's females who went over there to chill for one day, Puff, and Star, and ended up over there a week. A week. Yeah, he had them. He was drugging them and slugging them. That's how he was doing them. Anybody who was over there, he was getting them. Same with the dudes. That's why I said it was gay. He was.
Now they put that nigger bitch Martha Stewart in prison, but they're not putting the nigger Diddy in prison. I just want to be clear.
Well, you got to think, Martha Stewart didn't do what Puffy did. And just to let you know, too, to kind of fill you in, this ain't no conspiracy. One thing, I'm not saying he connected, but when it come to dealing with deep
troll babies, do I let them talk or do I shut it down? Troll babies. I'm sorry, guys. So you were saying?
No, I'm saying, listen, Star.
I'm listening.
The same way when you a Mason and you go to court, if you break the law, they gonna get you off on everything except rape and murder. Rape and murder. They don't play that. When it come to being a Mason, rape and murder, anything like we could take care of you, anything else, but rape and murder, we can't help you. Okay. You can corrupt the law. You can do this to banks and all that, but if you're a Mason, we can't get you off rape and murder. Them the two things they look down upon, Star. Just to fill you in on.
They're in a live chat. They're saying, let him cook. Okay, keep cooking. Keep cooking. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's what it's based on. You know, when you got money like that, man, you talk to people. He actually talked to a judge. He's paying people out. You get this, you get this, you get this, and I'm out. I'm just saying that's just how it goes. It's a bigger picture than what you think it is, Star. You know what I mean? He's not in jail, bro. Just like Epstein, he was never in jail. Okay. Oh, yeah, let me give you this and I'm gone.
Hello? Sir, are you there? I didn't cut you off. Sir, are you there? 313. Sir, you hit the mute button. We can't hear you. You hit the mute button. Sir. Hello.
No, I'm here, Star. Come on, man.
No, that's you. I didn't touch it. Go ahead.
Look, check it out. I'm going to say this and end it. This is what they doing when you saying the picture they paint. If I tell you, Star, I'm going back to Florida, right, you automatically assume I've been there. So that's why they be like, well, Puffy ain't eating the food. Right. Puffy need protection. Right. We heard Puffy got a room. Man, y'all don't know about none of that. If I tell you he did all that, you think he in jail. He's not in jail, man. Okay. So that's all I have, Star. I appreciate the show,
appreciate
man.
The call,
You're
sir.
adept.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Let that man talk. I want you folks to talk. I give you the last word. Sherry, hey, baby. Thank you for your support. Varnell, thank you for your PayPal donation. Where is the female who called in the other night from? Was she from Tennessee or Memphis? She was grooving troll babies. Remember, baby, are you back in the queue? I got some ice from my Merlot. I'm eating some Cheetos. I'm ready to talk. Let's go. Send me an email if you're in the queue. Say, Star, I sent it a donation. I'm ready to talk my talk. Hang on a second. Where's my email address? Hold on. I'm ready to talk. I got time. Coming up on 2 a.m. That's light. Email address right there. Are you in the queue? Who are you? Late night. 646. The diddler is going to snitch. Are you worried? Are you excited? Are you concerned? Area code 646. 012. 012.
What's the deal, Star? How you doing, bro?
Yes, sir. How are you?
What's the deal, Star?
Yes, sir.
I'm chilling, man. Been rocking with you since since high school when you was on the other station. I don't like him no more. But
that wasn't the 90s, sir. I wasn't on radio in the 90s. Please.
It was from 99 to 2000. The station where Ebro was at. I can't stand him no more.
It's okay, sir, but the Star and Buck Wild show started, sir, March of 2000. It's like, people, yo, I remember you from 1996. I wasn't doing radio then, sir, but go ahead. You were saying?
I'm born and raised New Yorker. You know what I'm saying? We've been hearing all these Diddy stories.
Sir, you got bad echo. Can you make the adjustments? The echo's crazy, sir. What's going on with the headset? Sounds a little crazy.
Can you hear me now?
There you go. You were saying, sir. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
There you go. Yeah.
Nah, I said born and raised in New York. You know what I'm saying? We've been hearing these Diddy stories since way back in the days. So all of this stuff that's been going on, it's not surprising. If he's willing to testify, then he should, to help bring down all the rest of these cats that's monsters, just like him. You know what I'm saying? Anything.
So you promoting snitching? Whoa.
You know.
Whoa. You promoting snitching? You come from the New York area promoting snitching?
Well, see, now check this out. I don't, when it comes down to sex crimes and stuff like that, I don't, and pedophilia, I don't consider that snitching. That's not snitching. Snitching is when you come to me, because you know I'm from Harlem and Brooklyn. Okay. And we was putting work in the street, and you know we did what we had to do, and then you get on the stand and tell on somebody about something that you know you did, and that's snitching to me. But sex crimes and taking advantage of people, you know what I'm saying? You know, getting them drugged up and pedophile situations, that's not snitching. So in Puff is a monster. We know how he was getting down. Wow. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like he's gonna bring the rest of those monsters down with him, then let it be a start to your debt to society. Okay, that's how I look at it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
do you think he's gonna tell on Roger Bonds and
whatever?
Hang on. Do you think he's gonna implement Roger Bonds? Do you think he's going to talk about Mark Curry spiking bottles? What do you think?
Well, first of all, I had a problem with those interviews too, because if they were witnessing that, then they were just as down with that.
Okay.
They should have said something if they was witnessing that going on. They should have, yo, this ain't right. You know what I mean? Or left the situation, but everybody was getting paid, so their mouth was shut.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And once they felt like Puff said no to them, now everybody want to come out and do an interview.
Right.
They were saying how they witnessed Cassie, getting abused, and the situations with Kim Porter. I go back as far as, my father went to school with Misa and them. I heard about Misa back in the days, what he was doing to her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So,
sir, can I put some real bullshit on the table, because a lot of sir, can I put some bullshit on the table? People have this image. They have this image in their mind of Kim Porter like she was so official. I heard Cassie punched Kim Porter in her face more than once or twice. Cassie, pow, punched Kim Porter in her shit. You ever hear that?
Nah, I didn't hear that one. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Cassie was about that life, nigga. She rolled. Sir. She rolled with the diddler. Huh?
I'm listening.
She rolled with the diddler.
Diddy said she rolled with the diddler.
Hey, the diddler was about that. Don't get it fucked up, right? Diddy was about that. Are you there, sir?
Yeah.
Diddy was about that, sir. Even Gene Deal said Diddy had a knuckle game. Cassie wasn't no pussy. I heard Cassie punch Kim Porter in her shit twice. Bow, and Kim Porter didn't want that smoke. Go ahead, come on.
All right, but my thing is, because you got to remember, like, what that doesn't. When you put your hands on a woman, he beat up Steve Stout. We know he's a queer. I hate to use this word, but you know what I'm saying? Like, Puffy was doing that to people he know he could do that to. He wasn't gonna pull that shit on somebody from the hood. You feel me?
Oh.
What you think? He was not.
I don't think Steve Stout's a queer. I think he's a good guy. He just, he's a businessman, hell of a businessman, but I don't know. Finish up, sir.
Listen, man. Only thing I'm saying is, only thing I'm gonna say, because I've been listening to the conversation. Okay. Puff deserves whatever's happened. I don't want to hear no conspiracies and this and that. There's been a lot of deaths surrounding him since the early '90s, the City College thing, the Brooklyn Biggie, the whole pop thing. He deserves whatever's gonna happen to him, and if he feel like he's gonna tell to bring the rest of the monsters down with him, then let him do so. As far as Eric Adams is concerned, you talking to these out of towners that's laughing about what's going on.
Right.
They don't know what's going on here. Okay. Eric Adams went on Drink Champs and spoke up about the Biden-Harris administration, letting all these migrants come here. Yeah. And right after that, they had their investigation going on with him. Okay. And then now Kamala Harris is out here putting out hits on people. That's what's going on. Ooh. You can't.
That's alleged, sir. You don't know that, but thank you so much. That's alleged, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody was on hold for a while. Where are you? Hey, thank you for your patience. It's late night. We're a little sloppy. Are you there? 951-012.
Hello, how are you doing?
Hey, baby, what's cracking?
I was calling about, first off, the mayor. When the mayor was...
mayor of New York, baby. Eric Adams.
Huh?
Mayor of New York, Eric Adams.
Yes. When he was getting ready to run for the mayor, they didn't even want him to be the mayor. Okay. They tried to make up all kind of things. He didn't live in this district, that district. They weren't sure about him. When you become the mayor of a city or you running for mayor, you should get yourself together. Did you even look and see where they went down into a underground apartment where he was supposed to be living? That was the address that he gave where he was living at. It was other people living there with him, talking about that was his roommate and all this and that. Get yourself together if you're going to try to climb to higher heights. And then another thing, when you get there, get rid of everybody. Take your own team in there with you.
Right.
Thank you for your service, for working here or whatever. Find them another job within the office somewhere else. But have your own team that's working with you, right, for you, and that's about you. Because if you don't, it's going to be chaos.
Yeah. Are you from the New York Tri-State?
No, I'm from Long Beach, California.
Okay. He was in a gang when he was 14, Eric Adams. The gang was called the Seven Crowns, and they extorted a stripper. He had a pocket knife. Did you know that? Eric Adams, the mayor of New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard him tell his story about, this is where I came from and this is what I done. I changed my life all around and everything. But for one thing, Eric, I don't even think you knew how to play the game of being the mayor.
Right.
And you can't step on a whole lot of people's toes that was up there before you. You see, another thing, too, is you was a cop. And I'm quite sure that you done some things when you was a cop, right, that they can still dangle and diddle over your head. Yeah. That's why I say you need to before you get ready to run for something, clean up your image.
Hang on, baby. Did you see the press conference this morning? Embarrassing. He had a bunch of old niggas. Baby, did you see the press conference?
Yes.
Did you see the black woman who had on the big church hat? Did you see it?
But see, these are the people that still believe in him. He had to have someone, Star. You know, he had to have someone. And
my goodness.
As far as P. Diddy goes.
Now, hold on, babe. We're focusing on Eric Adams, the mayor who had a press conference. And it looked bad. And the reason why I keep bringing that up is because...
Well, it's not going to look good.
You know,
it's not going to look good at all.
He'd have nobody there. You know, none of his constituents.
He never came right.
None of his constituents.
He never come right.
Never
he never. What did he do right? No. I mean, I'm not from New York, but it just seemed like he was never the right person for the job.
Right. Yeah.
Hello?
I'm right here. I'm letting you talk, baby. I'm listening to you. You got to change the battery in that smoke detector, but go ahead. We hear you talking. Go ahead. You there, baby? You there?
The phone just went out. If you can hear me, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Testing. What about now? What about now? Can you hear me now? You got the button press, baby. You got the button press.
No. I wasn't doing anything.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. He had old niggas standing behind him, and the woman with the church hat looked like Tasha Cobb, didn't she?
He had to have somebody, Star. These are the people
He should have had a young white boy with a yarmulke on, you know, standing next to him, and a fucking a Puerto Rican tranny or something. He looked crazy with them old niggas standing there, stunning and fumbling. Go ahead, finish up. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Those are the people that still believed in him, you know, that probably helped his campaign, that gave money and all that.
Baby, them old niggas ain't got no money. It's just old niggas. Ain't good. They ain't got no money. That's why he was stealing.
Well, I mean, you know, they probably went to their church and they probably, you know, gave functions to raise money to give to his campaign when he was running.
Yeah. They had a bake sale and they gave him $1,200. I gotta go, baby. Thank you. I gotta go.
Lord have mercy. All right, Star. Bye-bye.
Thank you, baby. Thank you. Nigga had Tasha Cobb in the background, and so he had a nigga standing behind him that looked like Hezekiah Walker. Hold on a second. Why aren't you asleep, man? What are you calling back in for? It's almost 2:30. What are you doing up?
Hey, man. All right, let's go back to Diddy.
Let's go back to Diddy. Come on.
Let's go back to Diddy in that jail cell. Now, mind you, and that is a young transgender male in that jail. So listen, hear me out. It's a scenario.
Come on.
And the young transgender male's probably in his early 20s, you know, cornrows, nice, soft skin, thick, smelling like shea butter, and the jumpsuit is nice and tight on him.
Okay.
And he's walking by Diddy's cell back and forth. So Diddy says, you know, Diddy's been in there for a while, you know. We on the outside. We don't know what's going on the inside. So
okay.
He says to himself, you know, no one's gonna know. Come on in the cell. So Diddy says, what's up? And he goes, nothing. He goes, nothing. So what you want to do? He goes, you like this?
Come on. Number 9, you go to sleep, man. Go to sleep.
No, wait. I got one more thing. Then Diddy rolls up on him aggressive, grabs him, rips the jumpsuit off of him. But then the boy pulls out a shank. He goes, this is for what you did to RuPaul back in 2002. This is for what you did to RuPaul. Ah! Hits him with the shake in the neck. Diddy's gone.
Okay. You feel better? You feel better?
This is for what you did to RuPaul back in 2002 at the freak off.
I gotta go. Jim Richmond, I gotta go, man. I gotta go. Thank you. Good night. All right, number 9. Calling back in. Hey, good morning. You there? Area code 424.
Yes.
Are you up to speed?
Yes, sir. What's up, Star? I'm from Beverly Hills, California. How you doing?
How are you, man?
Look, this is what's happening. This is the breakdown. Epstein, all that shit happened. Now Diddy's
You gotta watch the language, sir, if you're not donating. Okay, I don't.
I'm sorry, I'll get the email. I'm new to this, but like I was listening to you, I was listening to everything. I'm from Beverly Hills, California. I'm Jewish Persian. You know, I know the lifestyle. I know everyone. I know corruption. I know the judges, bro, Mason, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
But Diddy's really going to go down, and he's going to take every motherfucker down.
Okay. I just said watch the language. I just said that. 919. Is that who I think it is? 919. Late night?
Star! Snitch. What I go? Special delivery. Snitch like this. Get my wrist all glittery. I just wanted to drop that before we start.
Is that Advo? Area code 919.
Sir, it's your boy Avo. And how you been, Star?
I'm good,
thank
man.
you for this late night show.
I was calling your name earlier. I forget in what context we were talking, but yeah, man, Diddy, he wants to testify according to multiple reports. Any thoughts? Take your time. No rush.
I'm gonna take my time, and I actually wrote down what I'm gonna say. So, when it comes to Diddy, you know, as we've seen that he's a good father. So, my opinion, if he's a real good father, he would snitch on his own mom. I think, you know, going back to a conversation before you said who created this monster? I believe his mom, the wife of a former drug dealer, was the reason why we got this type of Diddy. You know, maybe Diddy did a good decision by never being a drug dealer. You know, I'm Colombian myself. I feel like there's some type of drug dealer nepotism in our communities. Okay. So I think if he really cares about his children, he wouldn't allow to just go to jail and allow her to be, you know, now she gets to groom his kids. And we don't want that.
Good point.
We don't want that.
Good
so,
point.
You know, but the diddler, I mean, what do you think about that? I don't know.
I think that's plausible. Yeah. He already has offered to testify. He knows in a court of law that you're going to be cross-examined. He knows. So he's willing to talk. He's going to tell.
There's probably money embezzled before he even started being a bad boy. Maybe bad boy was started with some dirty money. You know, you get it? You know, dirty men. So I'm just saying, I'm just speculating.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes to New York Mayor Eric Adams, which I met in 3 occasions, I'm going to say once a cop, always a cop.
Okay.
So you know, as a John Jay student, it's bittersweet for me because it's kind of like before him, you had de Blasio, and nobody liked de Blasio for being an advocate. You know, that's why I call myself Avo. You know, so but then they allowed a police officer to take over the city, and look what's happening. Commissioners are getting indicted. The new commissioner gets indicted too. So it's kind of interesting because isn't that what we need? You know, those dirty politicians to get out.
Well, you're talking about the first Puerto Rican commissioner, you know, he's doing too much. It was Puerto Rican. You know that, right?
No, yeah, but I'm saying like the same district attorney from the Southern District of New York that attacked Eric Adams. He did Eric Adams. He did Diddy. He did Menendez over there in Jersey.
Okay.
So it's a whole how do we call it again? Tri-state cleanup when it comes to the feds versus that little part of New York.
I forget if you're a man of faith, although I forget.
I gamble with Rastafarism, so if I go to a hospital, I get my kosher food.
Okay.
So it depends, but I grew up
The reason why I said that, you know, I don't support mysticism, but we have to at least, you know, ask this question for the believers: is this God's work? Is this God's work for those who do believe? All deeds must go answered. This man,
yes, indeed.
However that saying is,
No.
I forget. All something. Someone has to answer for the debauchery, for the hedonism, the celebration of the flesh at the hands of this man. He orchestrated this. Can you speak to that, please?
Nah, facts. And he'll still have, the thing is that he still has some baby oil by the time he come back. He could do a little, you know, 5 to 6 years, you know, and probably come back, or just the minimum 10. I also wanted to ask.
This man was controlling the minds of people who were lusting for fame and notoriety, lusting for it. And he knew this. And we do have a lot of weak people. They're called the 85%, the deaf, the dumb, and the blind. They wanted to be down with the bullshit, you know, and now the jig is up, and you know, some of them were victims, you know, a lot of them, you know, they were willing participants. Go ahead. I'm not trying to rush. I'm just throwing something in there. Go ahead.
Nah, facts. I also wanted to ask you, is it true that the smoke detector is like the FBA national anthem?
Say that again. What?
I was trying to work on a joke. I guess it didn't drop. Like, you know, you got callers with the smoke detectors, and before they speak, I know they're African American.
Oh.
So I just, you know, I just noticed. Because I feel like Latinos, like a Latino woman would tell her husband. A Puerto Rican would tell her husband, like, yo, go get the ladder, and don't you got some, you know, but I don't know. I noticed that's a trait in Black American neighborhoods, you know?
Most Puerto Rican women don't have husbands. How about that one? Oh. That's really funny.
Nah, but now going back to Mayor Adams, man, he is for sure a charlatan, but this is just like premium, like entertainment, because I like that he stood tall. And just like Diddy, he also got a lot of people to throw under the bus. And what's crazy is that you start seeing names that you never thought you would ever hear, like the Banks brothers. I don't know if you know the Banks brothers.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Board of Education,
yeah.
But yeah, like I do believe that both of those cases are correlated, and maybe Eric Adams was Diddy's inside man this whole time.
Yeah.
You said that he has gang allegations. I mean, gang
affiliation.
So I do believe
Eric Adams was also in the Supreme Team documentary, sitting there skinning and grinning. The Supreme Team, drug empire. The hell was he doing in that documentary? Did you know?
I mean, you mentioned Supreme Team, so let's get to that. I spent a month in Shreveport, Louisiana, right?
Okay.
I'm noticing a lot of digital real estate from 50 Cent, because a lot of the videos that he...
Ivo, you're going someplace else. I was talking about Eric Adams being in the Supreme Team documentary that Nas put out with his company. I forget the name of the company. But listen, man, I got to take other calls.
But what's up with...
You done? What's going on?
I'm just... No, definitely. It's all right. Shout outs to no shout outs, but Tro Babies, get at me.
All right, man. Salute. Good to talk to you. Ivo. Yes, sir. 712, you there?
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning, brother. How you doing?
Can you say that again?
Yo, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, thank you, sir. Good night. Sound like an African calling me a brother. No, he's full of shit. Let's go to 201. 201. Good morning. Are you there?
Good morning, stars. You can hear me?
How are you, sir? I was cracking, was shaking.
Yeah, I'm good. They took a bit of my thunder, but I heard you talking about Ben Brafman earlier.
Benjamin Brafman.
Puff and your lawyer. But
not my lawyer no more. I cut him loose. Sheesh.
Right, yeah. Your former lawyer. When the Ciroc company, I don't know the name of the Ciroc company, the umbrella, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But when they kicked Diddy to the curb, Benjamin Brafman made a statement saying he will not be defending Puffy.
Okay.
In that case. And as far as they hit the target, they wanted Puffy, they hit the right target. Like he can only snitch down, actually.
Okay.
So that's not going to pay off for him.
Okay.
He's a egotistical maniac, so he's not taking a deal. He's not pleading. Okay? If it's not a Clinton or an Obama or maybe even Beyonce, then everything else is just down. You can't snitch down.
Right.
You got to snitch up.
Right.
You understand? So, yeah, I don't see him doing anything but crashing out. They're going to roof him. They hit the target. They got exactly who they wanted.
Okay.
And I will say, the other night I heard you laughing saying that you wanted Felicia Rashad in handcuffs. Well, I went to go see Raisin in the Sun. Felicia Rashad was the main character.
Is that Claire Huxtable? Claire Huxtable, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. She played the mother, I believe, in Raisin in the Sun with P. Diddy.
Okay.
I went to go see him on Broadway.
Okay.
So she might have been at the parties also. I know you was laughing it up, saying you want to see her in silver bracelets, but they played in Raisin in the Sun together. So
when was that? When was that?
You might get your wish.
But when was that?
You might get your wish. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Hang on. I asked you a few times. Maybe you didn't hear me. When was that? Felicia Rashad and Diddy raising his son. What year was that?
Wow, I don't even recall, but I remember Muhammad Ali was in the audience with us.
Oh, jeez, that was years ago, huh?
I don't recall the year.
2008.
But about 2000 and no, before that.
Okay.
It was before that. It was about maybe 2004.
Okay, because the film came out in 2008. I guess Diddy was in the film. Okay.
Diddy did Broadway. It was the Broadway show, not the film.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I think it was 2004. But thanks for taking my call. And definitely I enjoy the late night shows.
Thank you, man. Salute. Thank you. 917, you there? Late night. It's getting late. 917.
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, who's this?
Hey. Okay, first I want to say I've been watching your show since the Starbuck Wild show. I love the Starbuck Wild show. And I love you, period.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Thank you, baby.
Talk about a few things.
Go ahead.
First thing I would like to discuss is the mayor. I'm a New Yorker.
Okay. Eric Adams.
I always knew that he was like first and foremost, I know like his family, and they're like, I'm not gonna say they're all criminals, but they're not the best. They don't come from the best background. So I knew it was a bad idea to put him in office, And I already knew what his agenda was prior to. And ever since he's been in office, New York City has been completely in the dumps. And not only that, he was also connected with Bishop Whitehead, the Whitehead guy.
Right.
It was just too much going on with him and Bishop, the Whitehead. It's just a lot. And it's a lot of corruption going on. It's a lot with the migrant crisis and even the governor in 2020. It was 2019. They signed paperwork saying we were supposed to get reparations for New Yorkers. Next thing you know was the pandemic. Then we had the whole Ukraine crisis. Now there's migrant crisis. And it's like everything is just the people for New York City is like literally on a back burner. I just knew he was always corrupt. I say lock his ass up and throw him under the
Damn. That's what I want to hear. A real New York hater. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I'm a student. I'm on my way to law school. I went to John Jay and all that stuff. I know about politics. My grandmother was a politician in Jamaica.
Okay.
So I understand the whole thing with the politics and the dynamics, how it is with the corruption. I say lock Mayor Adams' ass up. I'm sorry. I've got to say it. And then now I want to go on to the Diddy situation. I honestly believe Diddy is, yes, he was secretly taping people for all these years.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like for blackmail, for those purposes. However, what bit him in the ass is he had too many people higher ups that on those tapes is not supposed to be on those tapes. And they wanted him out of here. He was getting too big for his britches, you know?
Yeah.
And I you know, I'm on my way to law school, so I know about the NAC and things like that. To tell you something, I honestly do believe, you know, he was trafficking, you know? It's just like literally common sense. Like even the picture with the Jane Doe that they have that said, I believe, first of all, I want to spill some tea. I believe that's Tierra Marie, because they said that Jane Doe was from Detroit.
Okay.
She was 17. She was signed to I know she was with Diddy. She went from Diddy to Jay-Z, and then Ray J ended up pimping her out. She was the only one that was in high school at that time, around 2003 or whatever it was, that was in high school that was from Detroit. They signed her straight out of high school, and she had an industry background, you know? This is something, and then not for nothing, back in the days when I used to be outside, I always knew it was rumors all throughout New York City that Cassie was Diddy's sex slave. This is not nothing new to me, at least.
Can I jump in, baby? You say you're from the New York Tri-State. Baby, can I jump in? You're from the New York Tri-State.
Oh, my fault.
No.
Beg your pardon?
You're from the New York Tri-State.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Now,
I'm a Queens girl.
Okay, hang on.
Definitely.
Hang on.
I was born in the Bronx, though.
Okay, I'm not trying to slander nobody, but I heard Cassie was whooping bitches' asses along with Diddy, allegedly.
I don't put it past her. I believe she was really down with the get down, because prior to this whole incident, I'm talking about years and years ago. Okay, I remember when they were throwing parties in the Hamptons and all of that in the early 2000s. I seen a picture of because I have a few industry friends. I seen a picture of Cassie on her knees, and Diddy was walking her like a dog. It was her and another female in a party.
Yeah.
So I feel like she was down with a lot of things, and she was utilized to go against. Like it was time when Diddy would manipulate the situation and utilize her to fight with Kim Porter as well. Yes, so that's all I really have to say. Hope they throw Mayor Adams under the jail. Another thing too, we need some new blood. We got to get him out of here.
Who?
We need some new blood. Time for him to go.
Who?
And yep, that's all I wanted to say.
Deeds, are you still awake? Who's spamming the live chat? Please don't spam the live chat. Don't spam the live chat. That's weirdo shit. You know, if you leave a comment, leave a comment. Stop all that spam and shit. One more call. Number 9, go to sleep, man. Why are you in the queue? Go to sleep, man. So what's up with this guy? Hey, man, go to sleep. It's late. What are you doing? It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning.
Who said I was gay?
Sunday said you're gay.
They said I'm gay. That Sunday, send me a picture of her coochie. And send me a picture of her coochie. I'll show her how gay I am.
Okay.
How gay I am. Send me a picture of that big, fat, wet coochie.
All right, thank you, number 9. One last call, guys. One last call. Someone tapping in from British Columbia. Yes, no, maybe? 250, late night. You're the last caller. Are you there? Are you ready? Hold on a second. Did I hit the right button here? Okay, let me try this one. British Columbia, tapping in. You're my last.
Yeah,
call.
there we go.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing.
So I'm going to give you a first-time caller. First time I saw your show, so I don't know your history. So we're clean slate. But I'm going to maybe
just watch the language. Just watch the language is all I ask. All right.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a different narrative. Diddy got caught up in a timeline blip because he was up to some bad shit he shouldn't have been doing.
So I just said watch the language. If you have to use profanity,
I'm sorry. I'm Canadian. We're allowed to do
one
that.
last time, and you're out of here. Slow down.
Yeah. Okay. So very simple. Diddy went at Trump through Ben Masilis and Midas Touch Network. So right now, Trump is being protected, and Diddy Money set up Ben Masilis with Kenny and also George Garagos, and they're going after Trump. So Diddy was the money behind that. So to knock out Ben Masilis and get him hooked up, Diddy had to be under wraps, get him in there. So basically there was some metaphysical work done that jammed him up. He never would have got caught. But he went at Trump. And when he went at Trump, that's what keyed him. That's why he had to be taken out. Audie knew he was in trouble. He could disappear at any moment. He knew a lot of stuff going on the inside. So what's the best way to put himself out in the public but to grab a gun, go down there, and shoot up the resort? He didn't hurt anybody. Then he had to be arrested. The minute they arrested him, he calmly sat there and told all of Diddy's plans.
Yeah.
So when Cassandra put out her lawsuit, then now there's historical evidence that's released by Freedom of Information that brought out the fact that the FBI knew all along and sat on the information from Diddy. So therefore, they had to move on him.
Yeah, what you're saying is plausible. Now, what do you think about the case? Do you think the case is weak? We had a retired officer, agent, calling. He said the case is bullshit, and they're building the case. You got 30 seconds.
Look,
I'm out of here. 30 seconds.
Okay, we know that Diddy was competing with Jay-Z for the Cabal head table chair. Okay?
You're going there.
And so
you're going there.
So Jay-Z knocked out Diddy, right? Diddy had no woman. Cassandra left. So he can't sit in the chair.
Right.
But Jay-Z and Beyonce can, because they're a couple, divine couple.
Makes sense.
Okay. So what happens is Diddy's useless now. Diddy's part of the club. He meets up with all those people in Astral at night. They have a little thing called the club. They all meet up in think of the Merovingian on the Matrix. That is basically meet up in that kind of a club.
Right.
That's called the club. That's what it is. It's a place your spirit goes at night.
Right.
So what's happening is that Diddy got caught up in that. He didn't realize that by taking on Trump, there was going to be another force come in.
Sir, hold on one second. Control babies, do I let them cook or do I shut it down? I have to ask my kids. Do I let them cook or do I shut it down? Hang on, sir. Hang on.
Yep.
I need to know what my kids think. They may want to hear from you. They're saying, okay, they said let them cook. Go ahead, finish up, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm just giving you my take on it based on some inside information spiritually, and I'm just letting you placing the bug out there. You do the research, but I think you're going to find this is all about to try to get, because you got to remember, Ben Masilis worked for Diddy for a long time on Bad Dog, right?
Right.
And do you think he worked for Diddy and did a really trusted jobs without maybe being some friends on the rear end? There's some crap that's probably happened there, right? Because Diddy would make sure that no one ever in a key position would ever be in a state of not being under his control, right? And that's how he did it.
Let me ask you this question before we shut it down. Do you think Diddy will make it to the stand?
No, Diddy's done. Diddy's done. Okay. Will he make it to a stand?
Will he make it to the stand to testify? That's the question.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that he's going to be an Epstein. Yeah.
Well,
there's no purpose of him.
Well, now hang on. Is Epstein deceased or is he on an island somewhere?
Epstein is guaranteed deceased. I can guarantee that.
Okay. How can you guarantee that?
because as a spirit, I was standing behind him when he's on his hands and knees.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you
and
go.
I know exactly I know who talked him into it.
Okay.
Ghislaine.
All
I saw her there.
All
So
right.
why do you think
So I want you to stay in touch. Make sure you stay in touch. Seriously.
Yeah.
All right.
So I just let you know I observe a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
And I was let's just say he might have prayed to somebody and I was brought to the scene.
Yeah, he prayed to Satan. That's who he prayed to.
Well, okay. So so what's your problem? You think that you think
I don't have a problem. I'm a non-believer.
No, do you think the Illuminati worked for me? The Illuminati rebelled a long time ago. They're on their own playing book right now.
Okay. So I got to shut it down, but stay in touch, man. Thank you.
Okay, man. You
Stay in
take
touch.
care.
Thank
There's
you.
your
Okay. All right. I let him talk. Guys, I got to shut it down. I got to get out of here. Thank you for your support. Please hit that like, share tab. That's important, okay? I'll see you guys at some point tomorrow. I'm not sure when, but we'll talk then. Good night.